This is KWRM Corona.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, swung on, hit out into right center. On with a dive is Willits, and did he come up with it? He did! A spectacular diving catch by Reggie Willits in right center.
The Rancho Cucamonga Quakes pregame show is on the air. KWRM 1370 is the radio home to the California League affiliate of the defending American League Western Division champion Angels. This is Quakes baseball.
Well, hi there and welcome to the epicenter here in Rancho Cucamonga as the Quakes get set to take on the Inland Empire 66ers. Good evening and welcome to the epicenter. My name is Jeff Lasky. I'll be filling in for today. You might remember we spent some time together 2 weeks ago when the 66ers took on the Quakes. Normally I work on the broadcast for the 66ers, but today I get to be on the Quakes broadcast and glad to be with you for what promises to be a pretty good matchup, especially if it's anything like the game we had here last night in San Bernardino, where both teams put together a late rally. The Quakes came up with 3 runs in the 8th and 1 in the 9th to take over the lead. They were trailing 3-2 going into the 8th inning, but with 2 outs in the 9th inning, Bob Zimmerman, who's been lights out for about a month, and he had a little bit of a meltdown, gave up 3 walks and a double. The 66ers tied it with 3 in the 9th, and they scored another 2-out run in the 10th, giving Inland Empire a 7-6 victory. Tonight, the Quakes will turn to James Holcomb to try to turn things around. Holcomb coming into the game with a record of 6-6, an earned run average of 5.64. On the mound against Holcomb will be Chad Fillinger, who is 1-2 with a 6.27 ERA. Our guest on the pregame show, someone you've probably heard a lot from without ever hearing his voice. We're talking about the beat writer for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes in the Daily Bulletin and the San Bernardino Sun newspapers, Pete Marshall. Pete will be our guest as the pregame show continues right after this.
Summer is upon us, and there's no better way to spend a summer weeknight than at the Epicenter, home to Rancho Cucamonga Quakes Baseball, California League affiliate of the Angels. Enjoy good baseball and food on Monday nights for a cheap price. The Monday Madness package at the Epicenter includes 2 club tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 Cracker Jacks, and 2 sodas, all for just $12. How about Weenie Wednesday, where Farmer John hot dogs are just $1? Or Thirsty Thursday. Fans enjoy 12-ounce draft beers and canned sodas every Thursday night for $1. Tickets at the Epicenter start at just $7, and the best seats in the house are only $10.
1-2 on the way, swung on, hit out towards right center field. That's up the alleyway. That one's going to get all the way to the wall.
Fans can purchase tickets one of 3 easy ways: in person at the Epicenter ticket office, over the phone at 909-481-5252, or online at rcquakes.com. For scheduling, ticket information, and directions to the ballpark, check out our website at rcquakes.com. Come see the Angels of tomorrow today at the Epicenter in Rancho Cucamonga.
Forget it! Game over! And Brandon Wood has won it!
Welcome back to the Quakes pregame show. Our guest is the beat writer for the Daily Bulletin, Pete Marshall. Pete, you get to watch a lot of baseball games. Is baseball your favorite? You prefer doing baseball? You get lots of beats. Is this the one that you live for?
I do enjoy it a lot because you're out there on an everyday basis. It's not football where there's 1 game a week and you're out at practice 3 or 4 days. It's baseball. You're out there every day. These guys are out there every day working hard, BP infield games, and it's really enjoyable to see them develop. Sometimes just in a matter of a few games, they make that progression, what these guys at this level are trying to do.
And I know a lot of times when you watch Major League games, you think, oh yeah, I saw that guy in 1995 or 97. That's got to be one of the fun parts of the job.
It really is. You know, you see guys like coming back, like Dallas McPherson will be back for his 3rd game rehabbing with the Quakes tonight. I saw him just 2 years ago. It seems, it wasn't that long ago, and it's really incredible how these guys, a lot of them do very well. They make it up to the big leagues. Some you think, hey, this guy's going to make it, and they don't for whatever reason, but it's kind of an enjoyable ride while they're here at least.
When you watch the games, there's an aspect of you that's just a baseball fan watching, but you also have to look at it from a different side as well because you're a journalist. How is watching a game different for you than it might be the folks who are sitting just 10 or 15 in front of you in the stands?
Well, I can't really root for the team per se. While I enjoy these guys and I enjoy, covering them, I'm not rooting, for the team. To be honest, I'm rooting for a game that is over quickly. But I enjoy a good story. I don't want to see these guys get hurt. Certainly, that's one thing I root against. But I do. I look for for good stories. I want to see the guys do well, but I'm not rooting for them, either. They got to do their job, and I have to do mine.
Even when you just go to a Dodge game or an Angel game just on your own as a fan, is the way that you watch a game different since you became a writer?
Sure, although I still consider myself a fan. I'm not that blasé about it, that I'm not a fan of Major League games. But I know when I can be a fan, and I know when I can, when I need to be unbiased. And when I'm out at a game, I'm rooting for someone. When I'm watching a game on TV, I'm usually rooting for someone, just not in the Cal League.
How did you get into writing?
I went to college at the University of Redlands, and friends of mine were on the school paper, and they said they needed someone to write, and I didn't know what I was doing, so some people say I still don't know what I'm doing, but I enjoyed doing that, and then kind of got into it from there, started working for the San Bernardino Sun, which I also work for now, and one thing leads to another. I started covering the Cal League back in 1991. It's been that long, so I've seen a lot covering this league over the years. I've really enjoyed it, and it's one of the things that's kind of kept me going, I think, in my job.
Is the league different now than it was 14 years ago when you started?
Oh, most definitely. In 1991, you think about it, the crown jewel of the league was Maverick Stadium up in Adelanto, which, now is, it's an adequate stadium, but it certainly nothing compares to the other four stadiums in the South Division. It'd probably be number 5. That's a big difference. The Epicenter's been since then. Credit Union Park's been since then. I think those are the big differences. Also, back then, there was always a couple of co-op teams or independent teams. Now, since there's been expansion, Major League has expanded enough so that all 10 Cal League teams have affiliates, which is kind of nice because I actually worked for the San Bernardino Spirit for 1 year in 1993, and we were a co-op team. And it's a rough go for co-op teams. You're constantly trying to scrounge up players and independent guys, and you're trying to do what you can. And now each of these teams has full affiliations, don't have to worry about that. And so that's a big difference. I think I've seen a real overall improvement of the quality of play in the league.
When you get to watch the Quakes play, anybody that sticks out that you say, all right, this guy reminds me of this guy who made it, that leads you to believe that we're seeing a future Angel?
You're talking about guys who I see now who remind me of a major leaguer. Well, the guy who stands out in the Quakes this year obviously is Brandon Wood, and I really hope that the Angels keep him at short. I think he plays a very nice shortstop. You could almost compare him a little bit to Cal Ripken in some ways. Cal obviously had some pop. Big, for the position, but he could play. You didn't see him diving for a lot of balls, but he was smooth out there, had a good arm. And so I could see a little bit of, similarities there. Howie Kendrick, who was here earlier this year, and he's the kind of guy that kind of defies description. I can't think of someone who I can really compare him to in like another second baseman, out there, like a guy like Alfonso Soriano who's got some pop as well. It's got a much longer swing, so I don't really see that. So, those are probably the two guys that, that certainly stick out. A guy like Henry Morales, who, was here for a while as well, Jared Weaver, I guess compare Jared to his brother.
And we'll get to go see Brandon Wood play in just a few moments. Pete, thanks for the time, and we'll be reading your column tomorrow.
No problem. It's been a pleasure, Jeff.
All right, Pete Marsh, our guest on the pregame show. We'll be back with the action right after this.
A few years ago, a small bank from Rancho Cucamonga started sending shockwaves through the banking industry. Vineyard Bank rode through Southern California with a creative force that is changing the way we bank. We created small ripples at first, with innovative ways to move money quickly and effectively, where it would help businesses and families the most. Then our reputation grew stronger thanks to personal bankers with a can-do attitude committed to building lasting relationships. Vineyard Bank's financial performance was off the scale. A fast-growing bank with a rising stock. New, customer-friendly branches offering easy access to your money, opening throughout the Southland. Online banking on our award-winning website at www.vineyardbank.com. That's Vineyard Bank, proud to be your hometown bank, proud to support our hometown team. For more information, please call 1-800-442-4996. That's 1-800-442-4996.
Welcome back to the Quakes pregame show. Our guest once again, was Keith Marshall from the Daily Bolton, also the San Bernardino Sun, and our thanks to Pete for stopping by and sharing some insight for a few minutes on what it's like to cover a team day in, day out, and also what the future may hold for some of these Quakes. And these Quakes need to try to get some wins as they try to make a race for the second half title. The High Desert Mavericks, coming into this ball game, have a 2-game lead over Rancho Cucamonga. The Mavericks 5 games better than 500. The Quakes now just 1 game above 500, and they have lost 2 in a row and have only gone 5-5 over their last 10 games, while the Mavericks have gone 7-3. So we're getting down to stretch time, and the Quakes need to try to do something to pull up another game in front of High Desert. They got some help from Lancaster last night. The Jethawks beat the Mavericks, so the Quakes did not lose any ground. As far as the 66ers, they're playing their best baseball since the month of June. The 66ers have won 5 games in a row. They're the hottest team right now in the Southern Division. They have climbed to within 4.5 games of first place. The pitching matchups for tonight, James Holcomb, who at times has looked like the sharpest pitcher on the Quake staff, and at other times, well, maybe not so much. He'll be making the start. James made an appearance a couple of days ago against Lake Elsinore, going 2 innings and allowing 4 runs. His last start against the 66ers, he went 6 1/3 and allowed 7 runs, although only 5 of those were earned. The pitcher he'll be facing is Chad Fillinger. That name might sound familiar. The Quakes saw Fillinger a couple of weeks ago, and that was one of the best pitcher's duels that we saw all year. Jared Weaver made the start for the Quakes. Weaver threw 7 shutout innings. Fillinger threw 7 shutout innings. Fillinger gave up 2 hits. Weaver gave up 1. Weaver struck out 10. Fillinger struck out 9. It was an absolute spectacle to watch, and the Quakes came up with a run against the 66ers bullpen in the 8th inning of that game and ended up winning 1-0. Fillinger, his last time out, did even better in an outing against the Lancaster Jethawks up in Lancaster, and those of you who have followed the Cal League for some time know how difficult it is to pitch at that park. Fillinger threw 8 shutout innings, allowing only 5 hits, and he struck out 6. So he has had quite a deal of success of late, and he'll be trying to get his 2nd straight win on the mound for the 66ers. We're going to take a 90-second timeout, come back with the start of tonight's game. That is coming up right after this.
Hey fans, capture special moments both on and off the field with the new Sprint PCS Vision Phone with a built-in camera. Right now you can save up to $150 instantly on select phone models, plus you'll get 2 months of Sprint PCS Vision service for free. Rancho Cucamonga Quakes fans, bring your ticket stub into any local Sprint store and save an extra $30 when you activate a new line of service.
Limited time offer valid with a new line of service and 2-year agreement subject to credit activation, termination, other terms, conditions, or restrictions apply. See Sprint store for details.
Sprint PCS is the official wireless partner of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes.
1-2 the count, 2 men down. Here's the pitch. Johnson swings, pulls that one down the right field line, a base hit. It goes all the way to the wall. Wilson scores. Here comes Polly, and stopping over at third. The relay throw comes back, gets away, and now coming in to score is Remelay. Down to third with a slide, and safe at third is Johnson.
You've been listening to the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes pregame show. KWRM 1370 is the radio home to the California League affiliate of the defending American League Western Division champion Angels. Quakes baseball is next.
The Charter Media Friday Family Fun Pack is back. Get 4 club seats, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, Quakes baseball, 2 Boomers miniature golf passes, 4 GameWorks passes, and 2 Cold Stone Creamery ice creams with the purchase of 2 ice creams, all for just $38. The Charter Media Family Fun Pack is available for April 15th, May 20th, June 10th, July 15th, and August 26th games at the Epicenter. To purchase your Friday Family Fun Pack, call the Quakes ticket office at 909-481-5252.
First pitch to Balcom. Balcom swings, hits this one up the alleyway, left center field and deep. This one is way back there. This ball is gone. A grand slam for Blake Balcom. And it's 13-3 Quakes. The 2nd grand slam of the year for Rancho Cucamonga.
It's time for Rancho Cucamonga Quakes baseball. Brought to you by Vineyard Bank, Laughlin's Convention and Visitors Bureau, Allstate Insurance, Galliano Winery, the City of Rancho Cucamonga Waste Management, Red Roof Inn, Charter Media, Chipotle, Farmer John's, Unilever Food Solutions, the X-Bucks, Yellow Book USA, and Omaha Jacks. KWRM 1370 is the radio home to the California League affiliate of the defending American League Western Division champion Angels. This is Quakes Baseball.
Welcome back to the Epicenter. Jeff Lasky with you. The players have taken the field, and James Holcomb is about to start taking his warm-up tosses. And here are the guys he'll be facing, the starting lineup for the Inland Empire 66ers. Sebastian Boucher, I'd hazard a guess, the hottest leadoff hitter right now in the California League. He's hitting 14 straight and is hitting .360 on the season. He'll be playing left field. Michael Garcia-Parra will be batting second and playing second base. He has lifted his batting average about 40 points in the last week. Batting third, a name that will be familiar to Major League fans of the American League West, a guy named Bucky Jacobsen, who played the last 42 games of the year for the Seattle Mariners last year. Bucky starting a rehab assignment with the 66ers today. Should be with them for tomorrow's game as well. He'll be batting third, the DH. Bryan LaHair is at first base. He will bat fourth. Wladimir Balentien is in center field, and he will hit in the number 5 hole. Catcher Rob Johnson will bat sixth. Matt Rogelstad is at third base, batting seventh, as Asdrúbal Cabrera, the shortstop, is hitting eighth, and Sam Bradford will be batting ninth, and he is in right field. As for the Quakes, well, they have a player on Major League rehab as well, Dallas McPherson, who had such a spectacular year for the Quakes a couple of seasons ago, and he has returned, hitting .364 over the course of a few games already with the Quakes, and yesterday he hit a towering home run late in the ball game to help the Quakes make their comeback in the 8th inning. Ryan Leahy, with the Quakes trailing by a run, walked, and then McPherson absolutely smacked one over the right field wall. I don't know if it's landed yet, and a 2-run homer gave the Quakes the lead, and then they would add another in the 8th and one more in the 9th before losing it in extra innings. McPherson is in the lineup again. He was originally slated to play third base tonight, but at the last moment he was switched to the designated hitter. Don't know if maybe he was feeling some residual pain or if it was just a late move to give him a little bit of extra rest. He is in the lineup batting third, but he is DHing. Matt Pauley will hit fourth and play first base. Matt Brown, who was originally supposed to DH, will play third base now and bat fifth. Ben Johnson, the catcher, is sixth. Blake Hockham is in right field batting seventh. Devin Day gets the start at second base in the 8th hole, and Jason Sugden will hit ninth and play center field. Of course, on the mound is their man, James Holcomb. Brandon Wood is back in the lineup playing shortstop. Aaron Peel is in left field making his first start after coming off the disabled list. And we'll see how Holcomb does with Sebastian Boucher. Steps in batting .360 with 2 homers and 11 RBIs. Holcomb, rejoining the rotation, missed his last start with a sore hamstring. Into the windup, his first pitch to Boucher is on the inside corner, and that is strike one. Holcomb was very solid in the month of June, only 2-1, but an ERA of 4.07, very good in this league. Next pitch is a little bit inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. But Holcomb had a very tough time in the month of July. In 6 starts, he was 1-2 with an earned run average of 9.11. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Holcomb took a little something off it, and it is now 1-2. Boucher is hitting 14 straight for the 66ers. That is their longest hit streak of the year. A 1-2 pitch on the way to Sebastian. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. So Holcomb off to a good start as he strikes out the first man that he faces here in the first inning, and that will bring up Michael Garcia-Parra. Michael playing second base. The 66ers are coming off a 4-game sweep in Lancaster, where they absolutely tore the cover off the ball. I mean, it was hard to find a description of what they did to the Jethawks, and Garcia-Parra was a big part of that. In the 4 games against the Jethawks, Garcia-Parra was 12 for 20 with 2 homers, 4 doubles, 8 RBIs, and 9 runs scored. Holcomb's first pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. Garcia-Parra now is hitting 6 straight. Over that hitting streak, he's hitting .643. 0-1 pitch. Off speed is a little bit low, so it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Michael Garcia-Parra on the season now, batting .303 with 4 home runs and 23 RBIs. Holcomb into the windup. The 1-1 pitch to Gar, swung on and missed on the fastball. And it's 1-2. Holcomb, it's early, but he's certainly keeping the 66ers off balance. Had a very pleasant conversation before the game with a man named Dan Evans, and Southern California baseball fans will remember that name. Dan was the general manager of the Dodgers just a few years ago before being caught in the whole transfer of ownership to the McCourt family, and he was fired to make way for Paul DePodesta. Garcia-Parra goes after a high fastball. He swings and misses, and Holcomb has struck out the first 2 innings base. 2 outs, and that will bring up the rehabber, Bucky Jacobsen. Normally I wouldn't tell a story about broadcast, but I just heard this story, and it made me chuckle. Dan Evans said, I want to tell you a little story about Vin Scully growing up. And Vin, growing up in New York, was a huge Giants fan of the New York Giants and got his first broadcasting job with the Brooklyn Dodgers, the arch nemesis of the Giants. And Vin went home after calling an early game between the Giants and the Dodgers as Jacobsen takes a strike, 0-1. Vin's father, he was still living at home, Vin's father said, you know, that was some game. Vin said, oh yeah, great game. The Giants got that home run late to win it. Very exciting. 0-1 pitch goes outside, 1-1. Vin's dad said, well, who's the team that you work for? Scully said the Dodgers. And Scully's dad says, every 2 weeks, take a look at that paycheck, and that should remind you of where your loyalty is. 1-1 pitch is outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Scully's dad feeling that Vin was more excited when the Giants got hits than the team he was working for, the Dodgers. So the next time out between the 2 teams, Vin amped it up the other way, rooting for every time the Dodgers got hit as Jacobsen lines one up the middle, and he's got himself a base hit. Jacobsen hits a 2-1 pitch into center field. Well, there was a base hit in that game between the Dodgers and the Giants, and one of the Dodgers got aboard. And after Scully went home, his dad said, well, I think he went a little bit too far in the other direction. So somewhere in between is where you want to be. Well, tonight my paycheck comes for the Quakes, so there you have it. Jacobsen is aboard. Here is Bryan LaHair hitting .301 with 19 home runs and 91 RBI. Jacobsen, a big lead over at first. They're not holding him on. The pitch is swung on and missed. A changeup. No balls, 1 strike. Holcomb looking sharp with his off-speed pitches. Has had a lot of success with that changeup early on, and that certainly set up the fastballs that struck out Boucher and Garcia-Parra. 0-1 pitch to LaHair is on the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Bryan LaHair tied for second in the league in RBIs. The guy who leads the league is playing shortstop, Brandon Wood, with 92, LaHair with 91. The 0-2 changeup swung on, pulled on the ground to second base, ranging over his day, and he's got a routine play over to first for the out. So Holcomb, trying to rebound from a tough July, has a good first inning. Gives up the hit to Jacobsen and nothing else. We will go to the bottom half of the first inning. The Sixers, nothing. The Quakes coming up.
Hello, K1 Sports listeners. This is Roland Valdez, founder of Valdez Entertainment. I personally would like to invite all of you to listen to our newest sizzling sports talk show on all of AM radio, Controversy. Bringing up and tearing apart today's latest sports news and highlights. We're live every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday starting prime time 6 p.m. You can even join the gang, Aaron Toller, Jason Ziggy, and I, by calling in and put your comments on air. I'm looking forward to see what you can bring to the table with us.
Suddenly find yourself craving a Mountain Dew? You're a Pepsi guy and she's all about Diet Pepsi? Then drink your daily dose of carbonation at the Circle K Thirst Buster fountain. Whatever brand you're after, Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, or Dr. Pepper, Circle K keeps it ice cold and ready to go. Of course, Circle K can complement your great tasting Thirst Buster soda with chips, pretzels, candy, hot dogs, beef jerky, or maybe a sandwich. Just about any food you feel like, Thirst Buster can wash it down. Whatever kind of soda you can find yourself in the mood for, Thirst Buster soda fountain's got it. Ice cold and ready to go. Circle K. What else do you need?
When enjoying a delicious hot dog at the Epicenter, bring out the best in that hot dog with delicious condiments provided by Hellman's. Whether it's yellow mustard, tomato ketchup, or sweet relish, Hellman's is sure to add that complimentary taste to the ballpark food as the official condiment of the Epicenter. Hellman's also provides Quake fans with barbecue sauce, marinara sauce, or ranch dressing for the finger foods at the park. This season, the Quakes and Hellman's have teamed up to form a winning combination at the concession stand. The next time you're eating at the Epicenter, bring out the best with Hellman's, provided by Unilever Food Solutions, the official condiment provider of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes.
Welcome back. It'll be Aaron Peel, Brandon Wood, and Dallas McPherson coming up to the plate for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. The Quakes held the 66ers scoreless in the first inning. Now Rancho will try to take an early lead. The Quakes are 21-20 here in the second half of the season, 49-61 overall. Inland Empire 18-22, 46-64. Here is Aaron Peel. Aaron batting .280 with 5 home runs and 18 RBIs since being called up to the Quakes. Started the season with Cedar Rapids. Swings at the first pitch. It's a high fly ball, foul territory, third for his base side. Rogelstad climbs up on the tarp, tries to reach over the fence. He can't get it. But you have to be impressed with the hustle. Matt Rogelstad, he kind of felt onto the tarp to see if it would hold him. And then he climbed up, reached over, didn't get it, a foul ball, so the count is 0-1. But not a play that you see every day, a guy literally climbing the tarp. Rogelstad has about three tears in the pants that he wears. Those things are going to be in tatters by the end of the season. Some of the fans down the third baseline might be seeing a little bit more of Rogie than they want to. Chad Fillinger's next pitch to Peel is outside, and so the count is 1-1. Peel getting some time back in the outfield, spent some time recently on the disabled list. The 1-1, a curveball is a strike on the inside corner. It's now 1-2. Cliff Remele was recently placed on the DL. Of course, Remele has been out since the last time these two teams played each other. A breaking ball, check swing. He went around. The ball was dropped by Johnson, and they go to first, and that will be a strikeout for Chad Fillinger. One away. Remele sprained an ankle in the game here at the Epicenter on July 23rd against the 66ers. Have to go on the DL. Balthazar Lopez, the first baseman, is on the disabled list as well. So the Quakes a little bit banged up. But as long as they have this guy in their order, they'll be dangerous. Brandon Wood steps in. The first pitch, a breaking ball, is slid foul off the first base side, and it is 0-1. Brandon Wood is hitting .315. He's got 34 home runs, the minor league lead, and 92 RBIs. It's been 11 games since Wood has hit a home run. 0-1 pitch, hit hard on the ground, foul ball down the third base side. No balls and 2 strikes, and it tells you what a big lead he took in the home run chase, that he can go 11 games without hitting one out and still have a solid lead. Wood obviously tops in the Cal League, also leads the league in RBIs. Next pitch, a fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. So Wood goes down on strikes, 2 outs now, and here comes Dallas McPherson. The Quakes certainly glad to have McPherson in the lineup, if only for a few days as he rehabs some. He recovers from some inflammation in his left hip. Left-hand hitter. Here comes the pitch from Fillinger, and it's a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Dallas, in 3 games with the Quakes, has 4 hits and 11 at-bats, a home run and 4 RBIs. He's driven in a run in each game he's played in so far. Pitch from Fillinger goes low, and Chad falls behind 2 balls and no strikes. The 66ers have been hurt by rehab guys this year. McPherson, not the first major leaguer to hit a home run against Inland Empire on the season. 2-0 pitch, a changeup swung on and missed 2-1. Kelly Stinnett, the catcher for the Diamondbacks, hit a home run off of Ryan Fearben Thursday in Lancaster. Jeff Blum, who was traded recently from the Padres to the White Sox, hit a home run while playing for Lake Elsinore. Pitch from Fillinger is in for a strike, and it is now 2-2. So for whatever reason, the hitters have done well. Major league guys pitching against the 66ers have not fared so well. The 2-2, a fastball swung on line drive into right field, and that is a base hit. identical starts to the first inning. James Holcomb struck out the first two guys he faced swinging and then gave up a single to the rehabber Bucky Jacobsen. Chad Fillinger struck out the first two guys he faced swinging and gave up a single to the rehabbing Dallas McPherson. And now here is Matt Pauley. Matt with a 12-game hit streak, batting .273 with 10 home runs and 63 RBIs. Earlier this season, the 66ers faced Kevin Correa of the San Francisco Giants. Changeup is swung on and missed 0-1. That was around the Major League All-Star break. The Giants didn't want Correa to miss his turn in the rotation, so they sent him to San Jose, and the 66ers ended up winning 2-1 in that game with Correa taking the loss. The 0-1 pitch, there goes McPherson, pitches outside, the throw goes into center field as it skips over Cabrera's shoulder. McPherson not able to advance as it was backed up by Balentien, but Dallas McPherson, his hip must be feeling all right because he just stole second base. So the Quakes now have a man in scoring position. 1 ball and 1 strike to Pauley. On Wednesday in Lancaster, the 66ers faced former 20-game winner Russ Ortiz. And Russ did not look like a 20-game winner. Pitch is low from Fillinger, 2-1. Ortiz has been out of the rotation for at least a month now and was just trying to shake some of the rust off. And the 66ers shook him to the tune of 11 runs and 12 hits in 2 1/3 innings. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Pauley. Off speed, swung on, hit on the ground to first. LaHair picked it up, underhands to Fillinger covering, and he beats Pauley by about half a step. So both teams get a hit in the first inning, but nothing else. We will turn to the second with no score.
Faucets leaking, termites feasting, fish and tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into the book, not the other book. Artists, posers, florists, grocers, water coolers, bakers, jewelers, everything from A to Z. Duct tape, landscape, sit-down mowers, dentists, false teeth, uppers, lowers, wholesale, retail, farm mail, wide whale. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into the other book. Let your fingers walk into the other book, not the other book.
To place your ad at people's fingertips, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
Hot dog? It's your first game. You got your glove?
Yeah.
Good boy. All right, bright blue sky, beautiful green grass. You know, there's nothing better than baseball in summer.
I guess.
Hey, where's that peanut guy?
Dad, we're in the living room.
Hooked on a clear picture? Get hooked on Charter HD TV with a picture 5 times sharper than regular TV plus theater quality sound. You watch television like never before. Get local channels in high definition with no equipment to buy. Go where satellite can't. Call 1-888-GET-CHARTER and get hooked. Service not available in all areas. Prices may vary.
We go to the top half of the second inning from the epicenter. No score. Both teams got a single, but did not push a man across the plate in the first inning. Here in the second, Wladimir Balentien, Rob Johnson, and Matt Rogelstad will be coming up against the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. The parent club, the Angels, playing against Tampa Bay so far this evening, and early on, they're in the top half of the second, the Devil Rays, with a 1-0 lead. The Angels are holding Steve Finley out of the lineup for a couple of days, according to manager Mike Scioscia, hoping that Finley can work out his stroke with hitting coach Mickey Hatcher. James Holcomb into the windup. The first pitch to Balentien is low. 1 ball, no strike. Wladimir Balentien hitting .276 with 19 homers and 65 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch, a fastball, high fly ball deep to right center field. Going back is Bauckham. He's at the warning track. This one will drop in and roll to the wall. Balentien is in the second base with a double, and he will hold up there. So Balentien gets aboard with the leadoff double. The 66ers have been piling on the extra base hit ever since their series in Lancaster began on Monday. Wladimir Balentien going the opposite direction with that one for his 30th double of the year and his 5th of the week to go along with 3 home runs Vlad is now hitting 6 games in a row, and here comes catcher Rob Johnson. Holcomb looks back to second, now comes home, and the first pitch drifts low, 1 ball, no strikes. Johnson, a guy that the Quakes haven't seen yet. Rob joined the 66ers in time for their series against Lancaster, and early on in 2 games, he's hitting .250 with a homer and 2 RBIs. 1-0 pitch. Holcomb's fastball swung on, drilled deep to center field. Back goes Sugden at the warning track, looks up at the wall, and it hits the batter's eye. A 2-run home run for Rob Johnson, and the 66ers take a 2-0 lead. That was a fastball right down the turnpike. Johnson didn't have to slug much to get at that one. Just a short swing, drives it over the center field wall. His second home run in his last 2 games. And he now has 4 RBIs, and the Sixers go up 2-0. Welcome to the Cal League, Rob Johnson. Here's the first pitch to Matt Rogelstad. The fastball goes on the outside corner, 0-1. Rogelstad clocking in at .315 with a home run and 41 RBIs. Holcomb's next pitch misses outside, and so it is now 1-1. Holcomb was very sharp in the first inning, but he hung a breaking ball to Balentien, threw a fastball right down the middle to Johnson, and the next pitch goes outside, so he has fallen behind Rogelstad, 2-1. And I think we're starting to see some hints of why Holcomb has struggled so much since a good start to the season. 2-1 pitch, this one does catch the outside corner, and it is now 2-2. You take a look at Holcomb's numbers. So many good, strong starts early in the year. The 2-2 is high and inside, so now a full count to Rogelstad. The first time he saw the 66ers, he only gave up 3 runs in 7 innings. But since then has lost 2 starts against Inland Empire, going now 0-2. Pitch to Rogelstad is fouled back. So it remains now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Holcomb has struggled at the beginning of games. In fact, in the second inning alone, he has an ERA of 7.11. Opposing batters are hitting .315 in the second frame. Full count, the pitch to Rogelstad. He reaches for one, drives it down the left field line, and that will drop foul. Rogelstad was halfway to second base. Now he's going to have to come back home. Holcomb's control has been pretty good, better than 2-1. Strikeouts to walk. Opposing batters are hitting .282, which is good, but not ridiculously so. But after having an earned run average below 5 in each month, it exploded in the month of July. His control was not as good. And not only did he walk more guys, opposing batters were getting better pitches. They hit .365 against him. 3-2 pitch, Holcomb comes down and in, and Rogelstad pulls it foul. So the count remains full. We're talking about Steve Finley being sat down by manager Mike Sosha of the Angels. Finley, a guy who hit such a clutch home run at the end of last year to send the Dodgers to the playoffs, a guy known for being a great clutch hitter, was actually sat down in a bases-loaded situation recently. 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and that is strike 3. Holcomb came back with a low fastball. Rogelstad couldn't get it. Third strikeout for Holcomb, 1 away, and here's Asdrúbal Cabrera. Finley says as a hitter you never want time off. But he says right now he's in hitting rehab after signing a 2-year, $14 million contract with the Angels in December. Finley is in a 5-for-30 slump. He's only hit 1 homer in his last 35 games. Holcomb's first delivery to Cabrera is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Finley says he had a slump like this one time when playing for the Diamondbacks back in 2001. Pitch to Cabrera, a check swing, and he goes too far around. 1 ball, 1 strike. He said he was coming back at that time from back surgery, and this year at the age of 40, he was on the DL for a few weeks because of a shoulder strain. Cabrera, a short swing, hits it back of the shortstop Wood, who backhands it and goes to first in time for the out. Nice play by Wood, 2 away, and here comes Sam Bradford. Finley says physically he feels fine. His shoulder isn't giving him any trouble. It's right now just swing mechanics, says he has to get back to basics. Sosha said it's a matter of when a guy has been pounding his head against the wall and he steps back to see the handle of the door is right next to where he's been banging his head. They're going to try to simplify some things with his swing, as he says, clean some cobwebs out. Holcomb into the windup. The first pitch to Bradford is on the inside corner for a strike. It is 0-1. Finley is just 7 home runs short of joining Willie Mays, Bobby Bonds, Andre Dawson, and Barry Bonds in the 300 homer, 300 stolen base club. But Finley, right now, 7 home runs, seems a long way off. Bradford reaches for one on the outside part of the plate, drives it into center field, and that is a base hit. Bradford slamming on the brakes, coming around first, almost slipped and fell backwards on his bottom, but he recovered his balance and goes back to the bag. So the 66ers come up with their third hit in the inning. 2 outs and a man at first, and here's the leadoff man, Sebastian Boucher. Told you the Angels playing Tampa Bay, and their starter tonight scheduled to be Chris Butchek, making his second spot start for the Angels after being pretty successful in his minor league time this year. Got his first start against the Yankees in New York. Pitch comes low to Boucher, 1-0. I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but the guy who threw out the first pitch at the Angels game was the newest acquisition of the Los Angeles Kings hockey team, Jeremy Roenick, who invaded enemy territory down in Anaheim, and apparently he got a lukewarm response. Just the day before, Roenick had said some not flattering things about the mighty Ducks. Boucher slaps one foul off the left side, 1-1. Angels backup catcher Josh Paul went out to catch the ceremonial first pitch, and Paul brought out a bat carrying it like a goalie stick, and he ended up making a glove save as Roenick threw it in. But Jeremy already enjoying his time in Southern California. 1-1 pitch is instead a throw to first base. Bradford is back standing up. Of course, the Angels got a surge of power in yesterday's game, a 5-4 victory. There goes Bradford. The pitch is low. It was a fastball. The throw is in time, and it is waiting for Bradford. When he gets there, a nice throw on the play from catcher Ben Johnson. Bradford is caught stealing 2-4. But the 66ers come up with 2 runs thanks to a homer from Rob Johnson. We will go to the bottom half of the second inning. Inland Empire is up 2-0.
Have you ever wanted to host your own radio talk show? How about be a DJ? Play your kind of music, your style. Or are you a business owner? Maybe you want people to know more about your business. Well, KWRM 1370 AM is the answer. Well, after all, you're listening to us right now, aren't you? KWRM 1370 covers all of the Inland Empire and all of Orange County as well, plus parts of Long Beach and Covina. Imagine being able to tell people you host your own talk show or you're a DJ. And the best part, you keep all the money that you sell from your commercials. No experience is necessary. We'll even train you. Call today. You can be on the air as early as this week. 562-843-0460. That's 562-843-0460.
One of the most common types of pollution from businesses is contaminated water runoff, which carries oil, grease, or other chemicals that drip or spill onto the ground into the street. This water continues through our communities untreated until it reaches the Santa Ana River and eventually the ocean. Contaminated runoff from your business is a violation of local laws for which you could pay a fine. So please, sweep outside areas and put the debris in the trash. Never hose them down or sweep into the curb or storm drain. Make sure dumpsters have lids to reduce blow-away litter, and call your trash hauler to replace your dumpster if it leaks. Empty mop water and other dirty water into a mop sink or floor drain. Do not illegally dump the water outside. Use non-toxic cleaning products whenever possible. Dispose of all toxics such as pesticides and cleaning products through a hazardous waste hauler. These items are too toxic to trash. And obtain spill containment and cleanup kits for your business. For more information about stormwater pollution prevention, please call 800-CLEANUP or the City of Rancho Cucamonga at 909-477-2740 extension 4060.
The Quakes find themselves behind 2-0 as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Matt Brown, Ben Johnson, and Blake Bockham coming up to the plate. Quakes are having a tough week so far. They've lost 4 out of 5 games. First pitch from Chad Fillinger to Matt Brown is a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. And not only have they lost 4 out of 5, 3 of those were to the team directly ahead of them in the standings, the High Desert Mavericks. 0-1 pitch, a high fly ball deep into left center field. Back goes Balentien, but he will catch up to this one. a few feet in front of the warning track in left field, and the catch is made for the out. So it looked like Brown hit the ball pretty well, but the ball died out there. And it's been our experience, and I'm sure you've noticed it too, coming to games here at the Epicenter, that the ball carries better to right field than it does left field. A lot of times you'll see balls that look like they're pretty well struck that just seem to die out there in left field, and especially a night like tonight where it's a little bit muggy, a little bit more humid, the air a little bit thicker, and the ball might not travel quite as well as it would, say, if we were playing at 1 o'clock or so in the afternoon on a clear sunny day. One away here is Ben Johnson catching. Threw out a man trying to steal to end the top half of the second, and the first pitch to Johnson, a changeup, is swung on and missed, 0-1. The Quakes have been in first or second, it seems like, for just about the entire second half. But they've had to battle through losing a number of their players to injury and up to Double-A. Johnson goes the other way, a fly ball into left field, moving down the line, but this one is playable for Sebastian Boucher, and he will rein it in. We've got 2 quick outs here in the bottom half of the second, and now Blake Bockham will give it a try. At first, it seemed like the Quakes were going to have to battle the Lake Elsinore Storm for the second half title, but the Storm have faded some of late. But the High Desert Mavericks have really come from nowhere, and they've cleared up a little bit of room now, 2 games in front of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. The 66ers have a pretty big week because they're playing the teams ahead of them in the standings over the next few days. Pitch misses the outside corner, 1-0. The 2 teams will wrap up the series tomorrow, and then Inland Empire heads up for a 4-game stretch at Maverick Stadium next week. 1-0 pitch from Fillinger is downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. The 66ers have had so many struggles this year and so many false glimmers of hope from when the team puts together a little stretch playing well as they have this week. But one bad week could finish off any chance they had of making the playoffs. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch to Bockham is on the outside corner, and so it's now 2-1. If Inland Empire can win this series with the Quakes and maybe take 3 or 4 from the Mavericks next week, all of a sudden they're right in the thick of things. The 2-1 pitch, fastball swung on and missed. That might have been a changeup, actually, and looking at the radar gun, and that's what a changeup is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you think that it's a fastball, even when it comes to the plate a little bit slower. So Bockham fooled just as I was. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the next one, a breaking ball, goes high, and it's now a full count. Quakes got a pretty good start in last night's game. Bill Edwards threw a quality start, going 6 innings, allowing 3 runs, although only 2 of those were earned, and he only gave up 5 hits. 3-2 check swing, and the pitch is just a little bit low, ball 4. Fillinger walks his first man. Bockham trots down to first, and Devin Day steps in. Edwards got in a little bit of trouble walking 5 guys, but only one of those men eventually came in to score. Alan Buckley threw a very strong 2 innings out of the pen last night, giving up just a hit and striking out 3. But it was the normally reliable Bob Zimmerman who had the meltdown, giving up 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning, thanks to 2 hits and 3 walks. And then Rich Thompson gave up the winning hit in the 10th. First pitch from Fillinger goes outside to Devin Day. 1 ball, no strike. Day batting .267 with 3 home runs and 16 RBIs. Bockham leads off at first. The 1-0 pitch from Fillinger swung on, pulled down the left field line. That one's trouble, and it will drop in and head for the corner. On the way to third is Bockham. Moving to second is Day. And that will be all they're going to get. A 2-out double for Day. And the Quakes now have the tying runs in scoring position, albeit with 2 outs. And here comes Jason Sugden. Day getting a pitch on the inner part of the plate, and he turns on it. Does a nice job stroking that one down the left field line for the extra base hit. Now it'll be up to Jason Sugden to bring in the run. Jason batting .241 with a pair of homers and 25 RBIs. Jason hit leadoff last night and went 2 for 6, including a triple. Devin Day getting his 11th double of the year. So Bockham at third, Day at second, and the first pitch to Sugden is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Very nice crowd here in Rancho Cucamonga. The entire left field side of the seats looks like they're jam-packed. A few open seats down the right side, but a good crowd on hand. Pitch is swung on and missed, 1-1. We certainly hope you'll join us tomorrow for the concluding game of this three-game set right here at the Epicenter. Left-hander Micah Posey will be making his second start of this year for the Quakes. You might remember he pitched here briefly last year. And Jason McIntosh will be on the mound for the 66ers. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Sugden. Dillinger's next pitch, swung on and missed again. It's now 1-2. Sugden just batting .200 over his last 13 games. With runners in scoring position this year, he's hitting .254. Which is actually a few points higher than his regular batting average of .241. Dillinger gets the signs from Johnson. Now he comes set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off speed, fly ball into center field, but this one just a few steps away from Wladimir Balentien is standing, and he moves over those few feet to make the catch. So the Quakes push runners to second and third, but fail to score. Will go into the third inning. Inland Empire has themselves a 2-0 lead.
Galliano Winery, located at 1431 Wineville Road in Mariloma, California. In business since 1927, the Galliano family's roots run deep in Cucamonga Valley's winemaking history, offering a unique array of 25 varieties, including award-winning wines as well as custom label. The Galliano tradition continues to grow in the Inland Empire. Try the latest award-winning wines in a relaxed country atmosphere of the tasting room. Enjoy a tour of our landmark complex or relax in the beautiful picnic grounds. To reach Galliano Winery, call 909-685-5376. That's 909-685-5376. Or stop by Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
In baseball, there are day games, night games, and even the occasional twilight doubleheader. But you'll never see a first thing in the morning game. That's because mornings are for Farmer John. Whether it's delicious hardwood smoked bacon, savory sausage, or juicy ham steaks, they're all made fresh right here in the Southland. There's even Farmer John quick serve bacon and sausage. It's ready in seconds. So share your afternoons and evenings with the Quakes. But mornings are for you and Farmer John. Get fresh. Get Farmer John.
Jeff Lasky back and glad to be with you here on a kind of a muggy Saturday night here in Rancho Cucamonga. The fans having a good time, even though they're seeing their Quakes trail the 66ers by a score of 2-0. Inland Empire will have Sebastian Boucher, Michael Garcia-Parra, and Bucky Jacobsen come up against James Holcomb. You might remember Boucher was left at the plate when Sam Bradford was caught stealing to end the second inning. We're talking a little bit about the Angels game last night, as they got some runs and were able to beat Tampa Bay 5-4 to keep them a game ahead of the Oakland A's. Orlando Cabrera hit a home run in the first inning, and then in the seventh, the Angels got back-to-back homers from Benji Molina and Casey Kochman. The pitch to Boucher is fouled off the left side, and so it is 0-1. Kochman, like Dallas McPherson, played here in 2003, and what a season Casey had. He hit .350 that year for the Quakes with 8 homers and 28 RBIs, and last night was his first major league home run. Pitch high and inside, almost hits Boucher, forces him back from the plate, so it is now 1-1. Besides Kochman's homer, one of the other impressive marks that you could say from yesterday's game as the pitch goes low to Boucher 2-1 was simply the blazing speed for one of the Tampa Bay players, Joey Gathright. Young outfielder that they're pretty high on. They hope will be in the Tampa Bay outfield for some time to come. 2-1 pitch, grounded over to second base, sliding over his day to grab it. And his throw to first is a little bit wide of the bag, but Pauly reaches out and gets it, keeps his foot on the base, and that is a 4-3 put out. One away for Michael Garcia-Parra. Gathright on one play in the game led off the game with a double. Bird tried to pick him off, threw it into center field, and Gathright ended up scoring on the play. Bird said he'd never seen anyone score that quickly from second base. But fortunately for the Angels, Paul Bird had a pretty good night as well as Scott Shields and Frankie Rodriguez, who came in to get the save. First pitch to Garcia-Parra misses, 1-0. Those three combined to retire 13 consecutive Devil Rays before Travis Lee hit a home run off of Rodriguez. 1-0 to Garcia Parra is swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jeff DeVannen hit in the 3-hole last night, played DH, had a couple of hits, 2 stolen bases, and 2 runs scored. Kochman had been 0 for 14 with the Angels so far this year in various call-ups. Pitch to Garcia Parra is low, 2-1. And his first career home run was pretty memorable, a towering drive into the right field stands. Got to be pretty excited if you're an Angels fan, knowing that Kochman and McPherson will be there for quite a while as the pitch goes outside to Garcia Parra, 3-1, and soon to join guys like that, and Vladimir Guerrero and Darren Erstad and company. Soon you'll have Brandon Wood or Howie Kendrick, Jared Weaver on the pitching staff. Angels are in good position to be competitive for a long time to come. Holcomb misses outside, ball 4, and Garcia Parra draws a 1-out walk. First free pass issued by Holcomb, and the batter now is Bucky Jacobsen. What a name, huh? Obviously, that is not his real name. His real name is Larry. Something that you notice about Bucky right away is he is a very large man. Here's the first pitch, breaking ball, swung on, fouled at the plate, and so it is 0-1. By large, I mean 6'4", 255 pounds, starting outside linebacker large. He's wearing the biggest jersey that the 66ers have for him. Jacobsen became a big-time fan favorite in Seattle last year on a team that wasn't very good and lost a whole lot of games. Jacobsen takes a fastball in the inside corner, 0-2. Bucky was one of the few bright spots in 42 games. He hit 9 home runs, including 5 in his first 2 weeks, 2 of which won ball games for the Mariners. Some of the guys who'd been on the club for a long time started calling themselves just Bucky's teammates. Jacobsen was becoming so popular. 0-2 pitch is inside, and it hits him on the upper left part of his arm. Of course, Jacobsen is so big, I get the impression that I could start at second base if he's at the plate, get a good full jump, sprint straight forward, and hammer into him as hard as I could, and he might not even notice. So I don't necessarily even know that Bucky feels a 90-mile-an-hour fastball banging off of his arm. But either way, he will take the base, and the 66ers, without getting a hit, have put guys on first and second base with 1 out here in the 3rd inning. That will bring up Bryan LaHair. Probably not the guy you want to put on base when there are other runners already there. LaHair hitting .301 with 19 homers, 91 RBI. Here comes the pitch to Bryan. Way outside, 1 ball, no strike. Bryan hit 3 home runs in Monday's game at Lancaster. The first time a San Bernardino player had done that since 1994. And he's on pace to be the first 100 RBI guy for the 66ers in quite some time. Holcomb checks second base, now fires home, and his fastball misses the outside corner. It is now 2 balls and no strikes, and he's worked himself into a hitter's count. Holcomb's 2-0. This one is a strike. Knee high on the outside corner, 2-1. Dixon Sturman, the home plate umpire. Jason Millsap on the bases. Bryan LaHair is in line to be the 66ers' first 100 RBI guy since 1999. 2-1 pitch swung on and missed. 87-mile-an-hour fastball. It's now 2-2. The last San Bernardino players to get 100 RBIs in the season, Chin Peng Chen in 1999. Had a brief call-up with the Dodgers this year and in past years as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Balentien is on deck. Here's the pitch to LaHair. Swung on, hits down the left side into the hole. Diving stop at third base by McPherson. He goes to second in time to get the out. Or check it, that is Matt Brown. McPherson, of course, at the last minute switched to the DH, so it is Matt Brown who makes the very nice play diving into the hole to rob LaHair of a hit. Garcia Parra goes to third on the play. Jacobsen is retired 5-4. LaHair reaches on the fielder's choice, and so with 2 outs now, there are runners at the corners. And here comes Balentien, who doubled into right center field his first time up. Glad checking for some signs from Sixers manager Darren Brown, who was also coaching at third. Henry Cotto is the first base coach. And here comes Balentien. Holcomb is set. Checks third. Fires home. Breaking ball, pulled foul off the left side, 0-1. I don't think Balentien gets very many first-pitch fastballs anymore. Wladimir has been known to swing at just about anything inside of his own zip code. Has a tendency to miss pitches a couple feet off the plate on breaking balls, and so that's what he tends to get now. Funny how that works. 0-1 pitch, a breaking ball that was going outside. Vlad flicked the bat towards it, but he held up a check swing, 1-1. And you can see, even on a pitch that is in the dirt and several feet off the plate, his first instinct is swing. Because of that, Balentien is second in the league in strikeouts. He has struck out now more than 115 times. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball is swung on and foul tipped. Holcomb reaching 90 on the radar gun that time. The count 1-2. Garcia Parra at third base, LaHair at first. Inland Empire already with a 2-0 lead here in the third inning. Holcomb looks in to get the sign from Johnson. Now he's ready. The 1-2 pitch to Balentien. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Holcomb puts 2 guys on, and then Holcomb gets himself out of the inning with the strikeout. That is strikeout number 4 for James. The Sixers fail to score. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Inland Empire 2, Rancho Cucamonga nothing.
We at KWRM 1370 know that you have a choice when it comes to sports radio, and we also know that you're in the right place. By airing the local games that matter most to you, KWRM is your Orange County and Inland Empire sports leader. Whether it's professional baseball, college basketball, or high school football, no one delivers the best and exciting local play-by-play like KWRM. Check out our new website at KWRM1370am.com. That's KWRM1370am.com, and thanks for being a part of our all-star lineup.
And this is Quakes Baseball on AM 1370, KWRM Corona.
A few years ago, a small bank from Rancho Cucamonga started sending shockwaves through the banking industry. Vineyard Bank rolled through Southern California with a creative force that is changing the way we bank. We created small ripples at first, with innovative ways to move money quickly and effectively, where it would help businesses and families the most. Then our reputation grew stronger thanks to personal bankers with a can-do attitude committed to building lasting relationships. Vineyard Bank's financial performance was off the scale. A fast-growing bank with a rising stock. New, customer-friendly branches offering easy access to your money, opening throughout the Southland. Online banking on our award-winning website at www.vineyardbank.com. That's Vineyard Bank. Proud to be your hometown bank. Proud to support our hometown team. For more information, please call 1-800-442-4996. That's 1-800-442-4996.
The 66ers have a 2-0 lead over the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes as we go to the bottom half of the third inning. It will be Aaron Peel, Brandon Wood, and Dallas McPherson. 3 guys who have a lot of power coming up against Chad Fillinger in the third inning. Fillinger's been rather amazing. He got hit about as hard as a pitcher can be hit in his first few outings in relief, and it carried over into his first few starts. A Midwest League All-Star, mostly as a reliever, only made 1 start with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers this year. Got called up. They decided to make him a starter. Inland Empire has had all kinds of struggles with their pitching staff. And Fillinger, before the last time he pitched against the Quakes, really didn't show any indications that he was going to have a great outing. And went 7 shutout innings against Rancho Cucamonga. As we told you, that was the game that the Quakes got a run in the 8th to get a 1-0 win. But Fillinger has continued. His next start out, he gave up 4 runs in 6 innings, but he shut down the Lancaster Jethawks, going 8 shutout innings. to get the win earlier this week against Lancaster in his last start. First pitch to Aaron Peel, way outside. That one will go off the edge of Rob Johnson's glove. And the ball count now 1 ball, no strikes. Fillinger's control has been outstanding. He's walked 1 so far in this one. 1-0 pitch, off speed, drilled down the left field line, but foul. Peel turned about 45 degrees on that one to hit it where he hit it in foul territory. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fillinger on the season now with the 66ers has 39 strikeouts to only 9 walks. The 1-1 pitch, fastball, catches the inside corner, strike 2. Opposing hitters are batting .311 against Chad, although that's mostly a remnant of his first few starts. He had an outing against Modesto as Peel chases one off the edge of the plate for strike 3. Johnson dropped it, so he'll have to go to first for the out. 1 away. Fillinger had an outing in which he only lasted 2 1/3 innings against the Modesto Nuts, and they rocked him to 9 runs on 12 hits. I mean, it was a hit parade. The bat boy got a hit. That's the kind of game it was. But Fillinger has really turned it around, and that's really been the sign of the entire pitching staff. Wood hits a high fly ball deep to center, but this one's not going to have quite enough carry on it. Balentien goes back to the warning track to grab it in the deepest part of center field. So Wood blasts off, but doesn't blast off far enough. Really just a sign of the sleeping danger that lies within Brandon Wood on any swing can hit it out of the park. 2 outs in the inning. Here is Dallas McPherson. The 66ers were getting such poor pitching performances, especially during the month of June, in which they had the second worst ERA in the league. It was higher than 6. Pitch to McPherson is low. 1 ball, no strike. I mean, when you have an ERA of 6 for an entire month, you know you're struggling. But the turnaround that they have shown in the last 3 weeks has been spectacular. Here comes the pitch from Fillinger. Swung on, a high fly ball deep to right field. Bradford will turn around, and he's not even going to chase it down. Dallas McPherson drives one into the parking lot. A home run over the right field wall. The Quakes get on the board. Boy, is that kid strong. He hit one just like that last night. He just turned on it and drilled that home run over the right field wall. I mean, you probably could have put 2 more walls on top of the first one. He still would have hit it over. Here's Matt Pauley, and the first pitch is in for a strike. 0-1. Dallas McPherson now with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs, rehabbing with the Quakes. The 0-1 pitch is a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, you get the impression that Ty Boykin, the manager for Rancho Cucamonga, will call up Bill Stoneman down at the GM's office for the Angels and say, please, can we keep him? Pauly swings, lines one over to second base. Garcia Parra is there, and he makes the catch. I mean, please, can't we just keep him? Maybe 1 more week, 2 more weeks, rest of the season, please? McPherson probably won't be around for too much longer if he keeps hitting them like that. They get the run on the home run from Dallas McPherson. We will turn to the 4th inning. Inland Empire has a 2-1 lead.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by SoCal Sportswear in Downey. SoCal Sportswear is the official provider for the ABA's Ontario Warriors, for the LA Sparks, and for Long Beach State as well. Your high school or college will enjoy all-star workmanship at all-star prices. Call 562-923-0909. That's 562-923-0909. SoCal Sportswear in Downey will put your name or logo on any type of hat, visor, tank, T-shirt, short, jacket, you name it. SoCal Sportswear in Downey. When you want it done right the first time, 562-923-0909.
Hello, Best Western.
Hi, I'd like to book a room.
Sure, for how long?
5 months, so 161 days.
161 days?
Yep, don't want to miss out on any bobbleheads.
Wow, I guess so.
Actually, they're not for me, though. They're for my son.
I'm sure they are.
Stay at any Best Western in California, Nevada, and Hawaii between April 7th and September 15th and ask for the baseball rate. You'll get up to 25% off your stay and get a free limited edition bobblehead. Different Major League star in their minor league uniform with each stay. Log on to TravelBestWestern.com for additional terms or call 1-800-WESTERN. Guest must register in advance and quantities are limited.
Hey fans, capture special moments both on and off the field with the new Sprint PCS Vision phone with a built-in camera. Right now you can save up to $150 instantly on select phone models, plus you'll get 2 months of Sprint PCS Vision service for free. Rancho Cucamonga Quakes fans, bring your ticket stub into any local Sprint store and save an extra $30 when you activate a new line of service.
Limited time offer valid with a new line of service and 2-year agreement subject to credit, activation, termination, other terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. See Sprint store for details.
Sprint PCS is the official wireless partner of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes.
Oh, we just got a phone call from the Air Force Base up at Edwards. They said an unidentified flying object just went flying past, and I'm pretty sure that was the ball that Dallas McPherson hit, which still hasn't landed yet. They'll probably be tripping off radars halfway to the Rocky Mountains. First pitch on the way to Rob Johnson, up and in. That almost hit him. Johnson hit a 2-run homer off of Holcomb on a 1-0 pitch in the second inning. And Holcomb gives him a hi, how do you do, up and inside, sending Johnson down to the dirt. Rob takes a moment to recollect his thoughts. And now he will climb back in. Top half of the fourth inning, 2-1 in favor of Inland Empire. The next pitch from Holcomb, a fastball is on the outside corner. I think Johnson was taking all the way, and it is now 1-1. Johnson welcomed himself to the league with 2 home runs in his last 2 games. Next one is waved at and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Johnson was the Mariners' 4th-round draft choice last year. Regarded as a pretty good prospect, number 27 in the Mariners organization in the Baseball America book. Breaking ball drops in, and that was a beaut. Strike 3 call. I don't know what pitch Johnson was looking for. I do know that that was not it. Holcomb with an absolutely beautiful breaking ball for his 5th strikeout. 1 away. Here comes Matt Rogelstad, who is a strikeout victim in the second inning. Holcomb into the windup. The first pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike. Jared Weaver, who pitched some brilliant outings for the Quakes earlier this year, is scheduled to make his first home start of the year. Should be going on right now for Arkansas up in Double-A. 0-1 pitch to Rogelstad is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Travelers playing against Springfield. You know, Arkansas used to be a St. Louis Cardinals affiliate. They're now working with Springfield. Pitches down and away, 2 balls and a strike. And it was a long affiliation. Cardinals were in Arkansas from 1966 all the way through 2000. But the Cardinals demanded a new stadium. The Travelers were community-owned. They couldn't afford to build one. 2-1 to Rogelstad is swung on and missed 2-2. So the Cardinals moved on to Springfield. The Angels were in Erie, Pennsylvania at the time, wanted to move a little bit closer to California, and Little Rock was as close as they could get. 2-2 is outside. Full count now to Rogie. And so the Angels split to Little Rock, and it seems like it's been a good relationship. And in fact, just this week, the city of North Little Rock is voting to approve a temporary sales tax increase to pay for a new ballpark. Rogelstad fouls one off. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Elsewhere in the Angels system, down in Cedar Rapids, Alexi Casilla got another base hit with a single against Southwest Michigan last night. He is now hit in 22 games in a row. 2-2 pitch to Rogelstad, again foul back off the left side. Stays a full count. Salt Lake infielder Brian Speck got a hit. He now has a 13-game hit streak. He also drew 2 walks in the game. So some success elsewhere in the Angels system, which is chock full of talent. 3-2 hit up the middle, just under the glove of Holcomb in the center field for a base hit. 1-out single for Rogelstad. That will bring to the plate Asdrúbal Cabrera, the shortstop, who grounded out 6-3 his last time up. Cabrera, the switch-hitting shortstop, a wizard with the glove. He's slumped some at the plate of late. Coming in at .291 with a home run and 17 RBIs. Catcher Ben Johnson went out to the mound to have a word with Holcomb. Holcomb has thrown some beautiful pitches. He's also hung a few, especially the ball that Rod Johnson hit over the center field wall for a home run that put the Sixers up 2-1. Here comes the pitch to Cabrera. That is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Bakersfield in the third inning is up 2-0 early over Visalia. Smith making the start for the Blaze in that one. Stockton and Lake Elsinore are tied up at 3. Throw to first base, and Rogelstad will get back. Lake Elsinore, 2 games behind the Quakes coming into this ball game, and just a half game in front of the 66ers. Here's the 1-0 pitch, another throw to first. Rogelstad back. So a Lake Elsinore loss combined with a 66er win would move Inland Empire into third place in the Southern Division. Kevin Dunn on the mound for the Ports. Make that Keith Dunn. Morton has hit a home run for the Storm, a guy who was recently called up from their low A team. Pitch to Cabrera, swung on and missed. A nasty fastball, 1-1. Turner has hit a home run for the Ports. Of course, the big game right now, probably in regards to both of these teams, High Desert and Lancaster up in Adelanto. The Quakes 2 games behind the Mavericks as they battle for first place in the Southern Division. A 1-1 on the way to Cabrera. Pitch out. Rogelstad not going anywhere. Quick throw down to first, and they almost got him anyway. So Ty Boykin playing a guessing game, guessed wrong, and Johnson's arm nearly made it moot. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Mavericks have a 1-0 lead. That one is in the 4th, a pitcher's duel in Adelanto. You don't say that often. 2-1. There goes Rogelstad. Hit and run. Chopper to second base. It keeps them out of the double play. Day with the scoop up, and he throws to first for the out. So Rogelstad will advance into scoring position at second base. 2 down. The batter is Sam Bradford, who is 1 for 1. Matt Chico is making the start for the Jethawks. Boy, has he pitched well of late. Have to see who's starting for the Mavericks. The Jethawks with only 1 hit through the first 4 innings. That would be Billy Buckner on the mound for High Desert. Here's the first pitch to Bradford. Fastball fouled off the left side, 0-1. Billy Butler is getting the day off from High Desert. So that means Brandon Wood's RBI title in the Cal League is not being threatened by Billy. LaHair, playing first base for the Sixers tonight, is only 1 back of Wood. Pitch comes high and inside to Bradford, so the count is 1-1. San Jose and Modesto are tied up at 1. That game is also in the 4th. Buescher hit his second home run for the Giants. Get you caught up on the Cal League scores. Check your Major League scores in a moment. 1-1 pitch to Cabrera is low. 2 balls and a strike. The Rangers beat Baltimore 10-3. Wasden beat Cabrera. Lowe got the save. Newhan hit a home run, his 4th for the Orioles. Mark Teixeira hit his 30th for the Rangers. Blaylock hit his 23rd. And DeLucci hit his 19th. A grand slam. Pickoff attempt to second. Rogelstad dives back head first. Toronto tops the Yankees 8-5. Walker beating the big unit. Randy Johnson falling to 11-7. Gary Sheffield hit his 23rd home run. No word yet if he got a Pepsi commercial out of it. 2-1 pitch goes outside. 3 balls and a strike. Did you hear about Sheffield's comments? Trying to convince everyone in New York that he's the real leader of that team? Gary Sheffield. Shea Hillenbrand hit his 14th for Toronto. And Aquino hit his 3rd. Holcomb's ready for the 3-1 pitch to Bradford. Boucher on deck. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, a high fly ball deep to center field, backing up his Sugden at the warning track, looks up at the wall, he leaps, did he get it? Nope, it's over his head and off the wall. Rogelstad scores, Bradford is in the 3rd, standing up with the triple, and Inland Empire goes up by the score of 3-1. That was a pitch low in the zone, just like the single Bradford hit in the 2nd inning. And he sent this one all the way to the wall out in center field. Bradford picking up his 4th RBI of the year. That is his first triple. Sam only playing in his 9th game since being sent to the 66ers from AAA Tacoma, where he was basically filling a roster spot, only played a few games. Played briefly last year with Low A, Wisconsin. Bradford has battled all kinds of injury problems, hasn't been healthy very often in his career. Boucher hits the first ball foul off the left side, and so it is 0-1. Inland Empire now with a 3-1 lead in the 4th inning, as the Sixers try to win their 6th straight. The Sixers' parent team, the Seattle Mariners, lost to the White Sox 4-2 earlier today. Next pitch to Boucher, again sprayed foul off the left side, 0-2. Mark Burley got the win. He's now 13-4. The ageless wonder Jamie Moyer took the loss, 9-4. Hermanson is 27th save. Former San Bernardino player Paul Konerko hit a home run, number 26. 0-2 pitch, inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Konerko played in San Bernardino in the Cal League when they were a Dodger franchise back in the 90s. Cleveland 4, Detroit 2. Westbrook beating Bonderman. Wickman got the save. The 1-2 pitch to Boucher. Lunges after a breaking ball in the outside corner and fouls it off. So it stays 1-2. Holcomb tried a backdoor curveball. Peralta and Ordonez homered in that game in Detroit. Oakland keeps the pressure up on the Angels. The A's absolutely pounded Kansas City, 16-1. Boucher fouls another one off the left side. Still 1-2. Blanton got the win for the A's. Jose Lima took the loss. Oakland scored 3 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, and 8 in the 7th. They added 1 in the 9th for good measure. Nick Swisher hit his 16th homer. Johnson hit his 10th. Next one to Boucher, dumps a little liner into center field, coming on is Sugden, and he will get to it in time to make the catch. The 66ers add another run, thanks to a single from Matt Rogelstad and a triple from Sam Bradford. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Quakes behind 3-1.
It's here, the Old Time Gospel Parade, specializing in music 50 years or older. These songs have blessed families for generations. Tune in Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday, 2 to 3 p.m. Meditate on these songs and let God work wonders in your life.
Pressed for time? Got to get something good for the family and real quick? Think Chipotle for gourmet meals on the run. Chipotle Mexican Grill is famous for their huge portions. Plus, it's fresh. Fresh gourmet burritos and tacos prepared the way you like it. Nothing processed or frozen. Plus, their recipes are created by a classically trained chef. No, not that type of classical, but it will be music to your mouth when you bite into a Chipotle burrito stuffed with 17 different ingredients and marinated in their famous Chipotle adobo sauce. And for those of you who like to eat healthy, skip the tortilla and have a burrito bowl because they get fresh veggies delivered every day. Add some lettuce and homemade guacamole, and you've got a salad fiesta. Chipotle has a brand new location in Norco, or for one nearest you, visit their website at chipotle.com. Chipotle, where their burritos let you cover all 4 food groups in one single bite. And fast food that is not only healthy and fresh, but you can eat it with your hands. Chipotle, now open in Norco on Hamner between 1st and 2nd Street, or find a location nearest you at chipotle.com. That's Chipotle, CHIPOTLE.com.
The Quakes trail 3-1 as we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Brown, Johnson, and Bockham coming to the plate against Chad Fillinger, whose only blemish has been the home run he allowed to Dallas McPherson. Matt Brown flew out to center to lead off the 2nd inning, so he is 0 for 1. Brown's had a tough time of it of late. It looked like he was breaking out of that long slump that he's been in a few weeks ago. But he's gone right back to the struggles. You got a feel for the kid who had such a great start to the season. Pitch to Brown is high, 1 ball and no strikes. Brown was hitting .400 a week in. His batting average, as recently as May 27th, was .321. He was just coming off a 7-game hit streak. He hit .448 over that hit streak. Pitch swung on, drilled deep to center field. Balentien back to the wall, looks up at the track, leaps, and it is up and over. A home run for Matt Brown, and the Quakes get back to within 1. only had one hit in his last 22 at-bats, but he certainly made that count as he hit that one a ton, a home run to dead center field. Matt's 9th home run of the year. He now has 48 RBIs. And it's a one-run game. Inland Empire with a 3-2 lead. Here is Ben Johnson. Fastball is a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Boy, did Brown crush that. Check some more scores from the major leagues. Good game in Minnesota between the Twins and the Red Sox. 1-0 pitch, high fly ball deep to right field. Johnson might have gone deep. Back goes Bradford. Warning track. Leaps at the wall. This one's gone. The game is tied. Back-to-back home runs. It is 3-3. Ben Johnson and Matt Brown. And I don't think there was much doubt about either of those. I mean, those were well hit. Brown hit a home run 2 games ago against High Desert. So he now has 2 in his last 3. Pitching coach Scott Butner will go out to the mound to talk with Fillinger. For Ben Johnson, home run number 9. RBI number 24. Fillinger has looked very sharp, except for these 3 little pitches that he made. McPherson, Brown, and Johnson have all hit home runs. Wow. They clocked those. It is now 3-3. Told you the Twins and the Red Sox played a good one. Minnesota got one in the 9th. And they ended up beating the Red Sox 4-3. Nathan the winner in relief over Timlin. The Angels have fallen further behind as Scott Butner heads back to the 66ers dugout. Tampa Bay has scored in each inning so far, including 3 in the 4th. They now lead the Angels 6-1 in the bottom half of the 4th. Jose Molina gave the Angels their only run on his 5th homer of the year. Breaking ball is outside to Blake Bockham. It is 1-0. Top half of the 6th inning in Arizona. The Rockies with a 6-5 lead over the Arizona Diamondbacks. 1-0 pitch to Bockham, drilled foul down the left side. Hits the railing that protects the fans just past the tarp, 1-1. Moore has hit his 11th homer for the Rockies. Troy Gloss hit his 23rd. Torrero hit his 3rd. And former Lancaster player Connor Jackson has hit his first Major League home run tonight. This one is hit down the left field line, slicing foul, and it will land about 5 feet as such. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fillinger has gone from fooling everyone to not fooling anyone. The Reds got a win over the Marlins 4-3. Hudson beat Moeller. Weathers got his 7th save. Pittsburgh beat Los Angeles 9-4. Duke improving to 5-0. Dallas Perez dropping to 6-6. Sines and Wilson hit home runs in that game. 1-2 pitch from Chad Fillinger. Change swung on. High fly ball deep to center. Balentien drops back. Back. Home run. The Quakes have taken the lead. Blake Bockham hits home run number 6. And before Chad Fillinger can blink, the Quakes have hit 3 home runs in a row. They lead 4-3. Devin Day takes a pitch inside. It is 1-0. Wow. The Quakes flexing some muscle. Next pitch from Fillinger. A slider ducks in for a strike. It is 1-1. Bockham now has a 5-game hit streak. He's hit 6 homers and 32 RBI. 1-1 pitch downstairs and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Back-to-back home runs. Here is the 1-1 pitch from Fillinger. Swung on and missed. So it is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll have to check the records to see if the Quakes have gone back-to-back-to-back at all this year. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit off the fist, but foul. And so it remains now 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Quakes now, with 4 home runs in the game, have already tied their season best mark, which they did July 2nd at Lancaster. Here's the 2-2, a breaking ball outside, full count. So this would be now the second time that they have done that. What an inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, drilled down the left field line. Moving over towards the line. This one is going to bounce in front of the wall and drop for extra bases. Day is into second base with a double. I don't know what they might have seen. Maybe hitting coach James Ralston found something. Maybe pitching coach Eric Bennett found something. But Chad Fillinger has gone from being unhittable to a guy who is serving up extra base hits left and right. 3 home runs a row and then a double. And all of a sudden the 66ers are starting to get some life down in the bullpen. Fillinger can't fool anyone right now. This is uncanny. Here's Jason Sugden, who flew out to center field his last time up. Wow. Back-to-back home runs. And then another home run to make it 3 in a row, and then a double. There is still no one out here in the 4th inning. Fillinger looks back to second, now fires home. This one is outside. 1 ball and no strike. The Quakes have had a tough time of late, losing 4 out of 5. Nabaldo Acosta is starting to throw down in the bullpen for the 66ers. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Sugden drops a bunt, a good one down the first baseline. Picking it up is Fillinger. He underhands on the run, and he goes to first for the out. He was obviously bunting for a hit, but Day will advance to third, so just as good as a sacrifice. And now with 1 out, the Quakes have their man over at third base. And the batter will be Aaron Peel, who has struck out twice. 3 home runs already in the inning for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, and now a 4-3 lead. Fillinger comes set. The infield playing in. The fastball is inside, and it hits Peel on the elbow. Now runners at the corners with 1 out. Fillinger had allowed 6 home runs this year in 37 and a third innings. And all of a sudden now he's allowed 10. In just about 40 innings. And here's a guy who knows a thing or two about hitting home runs. Brandon Wood, the minor league leader in home runs. Brandon's been quiet. Hasn't had a home run in almost 2 weeks. Scott Butner comes out of the 66ers dugout just to look down the line, and he sends a signal that Acosta needs to hurry up the warm-up process. Pitch from Fillinger, a breaking ball is in for a strike, 0-1. Brandon Wood, 34 home runs already. The last one he hit was against the 66ers on the 23rd of July right here at the Epicenter. A home run that ended up giving the Quakes a win. Throw to first base. Diamondback head first is Peel. Wood is 0 for 2 in this one. He only has 1 hit in his last 15 at bats and only 2 over his last 19. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball down and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The fans have gotten right back into this game. Here's the 1-1. Check swing. He did not go around on a pitch that was a little bit up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. You know, the Weather Service issued a warning for possible thunder and lightning storms in the area tonight. Well, lightning has struck here in the 4th inning for the Quakes, and they're hoping that they've got another big bolt in the big bat of their big hitter, Brandon Wood. 2 balls and 1 strike. A good hitter's count. Day is at third. Peel is at first. 4-3 Quakes here in the fourth. Fillinger ready for the 2-1 pitch. Another throw to first base. Peel gets back, and they always say a sign of a pitcher is tiring as he starts worrying more about the base runners. Looks like Acosta is loose in the pen if the Sixers want to go that way. Fillinger's 2-1 pitch to Wood. Breaking ball is low, but a check swing, and home plate umpire Dixon Sturman says he went around. Count now evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still only 1 out in the inning, which means that on deck is the Angels' whole farm system's top slugger, Dallas McPherson, who has hit some big home runs already at the major league level this year. The 2-2. Up and in, and it hit the bat for a foul ball. That was a ball that Brandon was just trying to get out of the way of, and it nicked the bat. So it stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. And if you're a Quakes fan, you certainly can't imagine a better situation than this. A couple guys on with Wood and then McPherson. And it's not too hard to close your eyes and daydream this. You can see this scene developing just a few years from now down in Anaheim. You know, that's what the Angels are hoping. Wood taking an extra moment before coming back into the box. Now he does. Here is Fillinger's 2-2 pitch. It is low. Another breaking ball, and now he's gone full to Brandon Wood. He's 1 pitch away for loading the bases to Dallas McPherson. And remember, McPherson's last swing, well, we just got word that the ball landed somewhere in the middle of New Jersey. The home run McPherson hit in the third. 3-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball high, ball 4. The bases are loaded. We'll have to see if that spells the end for Fillinger. He takes a quick peek over at the dugout. Darren Brown is up and out of that dugout. Chad Fillinger's night is done here in the fourth. The 66ers will go to the pen. And how would you like to be Nabaldo Acosta right now? You've got to come into the game with 1 out, the bases loaded, and Dallas McPherson coming up to the plate, the guy who's hit 2 home runs off your team in 2 nights. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll come back. The Quakes have the bases all loaded up in the fourth, already up 4-3.
Summer is upon us, and there's no better way to spend a summer weeknight than at the Epicenter, home to Rancho Cucamonga Quakes Baseball, California League affiliate of the Angels. Enjoy good baseball and food on Monday nights for a cheap price. The Monday Madness package at the Epicenter includes 2 club tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 Cracker Jacks, and 2 sodas, all for just $12. How about Weenie Wednesday, where Farmer John hot dogs are just $1? Or Thirsty Thursday. Fans enjoy 12-ounce draft beers and canned sodas every Thursday night for $1. Tickets at the Epicenter start at just $7, and the best seats in the house are only $10.
1-2 on the way, swung on, hit out towards right center field. That's up the alleyway. That one's going to get all the way to the wall.
Fans can purchase tickets one of 3 easy ways: in person at the Epicenter ticket office, over the phone at 909-481-5252, or online at rcquakes.com. For scheduling, ticket information, and directions to the ballpark, check out our website at rcquakes.com. Come see the Angels of Tomorrow today at the Epicenter in Rancho Cucamonga.
Forget it! Game over! And Brandon Wood has won it.
Marissa! Let's go! You are not missing school again. All right, then. Hit it. I know you can hear this. Cut that noise, yo! I'm coming! Took you long enough.
Hey, whatever it takes. Don't let your friends drop out. For more ways to help, go to OperationGraduation.com. A public service message from the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
You know, Chad Fillinger had been pitching pretty well. Gave up 1 run in the first 3 innings. But then the Quakes struck gold. You can almost hear Ty Boykin yell out Eureka. Back-to-back home runs to start the inning. And then they made it back-to-back-to-back. Then Day doubled. Sugden bunted for an out. Peel got hit by a pitch. Brandon Wood walked. That means the bases are loaded with 1 out. And here is Dallas McPherson. And the new man, he's facing Nabaldo Acosta, the right-hander, pitching from the stretch. And the first pitch looks like it might have been a slider or a cut fastball, and it was a good one coming in on McPherson's hands. He swings and misses. By the way, in case you are wondering if back-to-back-to-back home runs ties a league record, the answer is no. The California League record would be 4 consecutive home runs, and that was done by the Salinas franchise back on the 19th of June in 1965. No balls and 1 strike here to McPherson. Dallas is 2 for 2, a home run and a single. The Quakes will take either here. The 1-1 is low. Or I should say that pitch is low. That makes it 1-1. Acosta this year is 2-5. He has an earned run average of 4.87. This would be his 32nd appearance of the year. The 1-1 to McPherson. A little bit low. Tries to catch the outside corner. It is now 2-1. Acosta went 2/3 of an inning in his last outing in Lancaster, but he hit a man in a clutch situation, and the 66ers quickly went to the pen to pull him out. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, pulled into right field. No! LaHair leaps up and he grabs it. He goes to second. They've got a double play. What an amazing defensive play by Bryan LaHair. It took all 6 feet 5 inches of him to lash out with his glove to grab it. He robs McPherson of a big bases-loaded hit and turns it into an inning-ending double play. However, the Quakes get 3 runs on back-to-back-to-back home runs by Matt Brown, Ben Johnson, and Blake Bockham. The tables have turned as we go to the 5th. Rancho Cucamonga 4 and Inland Empire 3.
Great moments in Laughlin history. Jeff from Barstow tries out his new camera phone.
Hey, Jeff sending pictures from Laughlin.
Looks like you rented a jet ski.
Cool. Now he's floating by a pontoon boat.
Are there girls on there?
Yeah, those are girls.
Are they hot?
Yeah, and they're really tan. I think he's in a casino now.
Are the girls with him?
They're blowing on his dice. Nice, he won.
Good. He owes me money.
They're in a nightclub now.
Whoa.
Knee-deep in females.
That never happens when we're with them.
Hello?
Hey, man, you guys should come down here. Hey, baby.
Jeff says hello.
Uh-huh.
I hate Jeff.
Laughlin, Nevada. Founded on fun.
I don't want to know what that is.
For information, call 1-800-4-LAUGHLIN or go to visitlaughlin.com.
This is Todd Borkin, manager of the Quakes for the Ontario Airport Marriott. Featuring an executive conference center, a lecture hall with surrounding breakout rooms, the Marriott is your place for your next meeting or seminar. Looking for a place to host a wedding ceremony, reception, or how about that class or family reunion? The Marriott features ballroom space for up to 500 people. The Ontario Airport Marriott is located at 2200 East Hope Boulevard, right off the 10 freeway. The Ontario Airport Marriott, a proud sponsor of your 2005 Quakes on the radio.
Looking it up in the Quakes record book, well, we've been witnesses, or at least listening to history being made. That is the first time in Rancho Cucamonga history that the Quakes have hit back-to-back home runs. It's given them a 4-3 lead as we go to the top half of the 5th inning. Michael Garcia-Parra, Bucky Jacobsen, and Bryan LaHair all coming up to the plate. Garcia-Parra is 0 for 1. He has struck out and walked. We've got a few more Major League scores we can sneak in. The Phillies beat the Brewers 8-2. Lieber evening his record at 10-10. Capuano took the loss. Branyan, Pratt, and Rollins all hit home runs. The Padres got a win. They beat the Nationals 3-2. Estacio over Drees. Hoffman the save. Vinny Castilla hit his 7th homer. And Garcia-Parra sprays the first one foul off the right side. It is 0-1. San Francisco over Houston 5-2. Lowry beat Oswalt. Hinsberg hit his 29th homer while Mike Matheny hit his 10th. Atlanta 8, St. Louis 1. Tim Hudson getting his 100th career victory. 0-1 pitch to Garcia-Parra. Fastball on the outside corner. It is 0-2. Jason Marquis took the loss for the Cardinals. Andrew Jones hit 2 more home runs. He has 35. The Mets beat the Cubs 2-0. Greg Maddux took the loss in that one. Holcomb out in front here, 0-2 against Garcia Parra. Here's the pitch from James. He misses the outside corner, so it's now 1 ball and 2 strike. He can close the book on Chad Fillinger. He goes 3 1/3 innings in this outing, giving up 4 earned runs, 4 hits, all 4 solo home runs. Here's the next pitch to Garcia Parra, a breaking ball that drops out of the bottom of it. And Garcia Parra swings and misses to fan for the second time. 6th strikeout now for Holcomb, 1 out. I'm going to go back and check those hit numbers. Fillinger gave up 7 hits in his 3 1/3 inning. He struck out 2 and he walked 2, as well as hitting a batter. With 1 out, the batter is Bucky Jacobsen on rehab assignment here from Seattle. When Bucky started coming up through the Mariners system, or check that, through the Milwaukee Brewers system, as the pitch to Bucky goes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Jacobsen got a fan club that started following him mostly because they thought his name was amusing. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Jacobsen. He takes it low. 2 balls, no strikes. They call themselves the Bucky Backers. And you can find them at BuckyBackers.com. And it started as a joke, but it's really turned now into a real friendship. Jacobsen lines it up the middle. Wood behind second, gets it, spins, and throws to first. Paulie missed the bag, and he does not get it in time. Jacobsen will be safe into first. We'll have to see how they score it. That will be a hit for Bucky. I don't think he gets very many infield singles. Brandon Wood, a nice job going back behind the bag, spinning. His throw was offline. Paulie grabbed it, and I think Paulie couldn't decide whether it would be quicker to hit the bag or to tag Jacobsen. Instead, he ends up doing neither. And because of that, the 66ers have a man aboard with 1 out here in the 5th. Now they'll bring up Bryan LaHair. Bryan is 0 for 2, a couple of ground ball outs. Here's the pitch. LaHair swings and misses out of fastball, 0-1. LaHair, a big, powerful guy at 6'5", and so because of that, sometimes his swing gets a little bit long, and he is prone to striking out. But he's got great power and has really been using the opposite field well of late. He hits one down the left field line, but foul, and it is no balls and 2 strikes. Wladimir Balentien waiting on deck. The games between these two teams have been so entertaining this year. You just never know what you're going to see. The 0-2 swung on and missed. A breaking ball that was down and in, and LaHair strikes out. Strikeout number 7 for Holcomb. 2 outs in the inning. Jacobsen still over at first. Here is Wladimir Balentien, who has doubled and struck out. Holcomb ready for his first pitch. On the way. Breaking ball is low. 1 ball and no strike. I mean, we've seen games go into extra innings. We've seen home runs win it. We've seen incredible pitching duels like the one between Fillinger and Jared Weaver. 1-0 pitch is outside. So it is now 2 balls and no strike. The games between these two teams always seem to be close. And that always makes for entertaining matchups. The last 2 have been decided by 2 runs or less. Next pitch is swung on and missed. 2 balls and 1 strike. The home team had the big advantage in the first several games of the series as the breaking ball goes outside, running the count 3-1. The Quakes won the first 3 games. Those were all played here in Rancho Cucamonga. The Sixers won the first 5 games that were played in San Bernardino. Since then, it seems to work the opposite way, although each team has spoiled that once by winning at home. Or check it, winning on the road. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Balentien. Swung on and missed on a fastball, and it's now a full count. The 66ers lead the all-time series between these two franchises. 150 to 135 if you include the postseason. The 3-2, Jacobsen runs, high fly ball deep to right field. Backing up is Bauckham. He gets under it at the warning track, spins around, and he makes the catch for the third out. So the Sixers get the infield single from Jacobsen, but nothing else. We'll turn to the bottom half of the fifth. The Quakes lead it 4-3.
Chris Manson's powerful new book, Joshua Shoots, He Scores. The Greatest Call I Ever Made is available now at joshuashoots.com.
Randy Youngman of the Orange County Register writes, Joshua Shoots, He Scores will touch anyone who reads it.
Hall of Famer Rod Carew declares, this is the little book with a lot of heart.
L.A. Kings announcer Bob Miller adds, Joshua Shoots, He Scores will leave you believing in miracles.
For more information, go to joshuashoots.com
or order by phone at 949-260-1012.
Or ask for Joshua Shoots, He Scores at bookstores everywhere.
Omaha Jack's Grill House and Brewery is open just north of the Epicenter in Mozzie Plaza. Come in for outstanding food featuring great steaks, fresh seafood, and roasted prime rib. Not to mention an in-house brewery and live entertainment. Quakes fans, show your ticket stub after a ball game and receive 10% off. Can't make it in after the game? Then stop in before for great steaks. Or how about a great place to meet for lunch? Lunch specials start at just $5.99. Omaha Jack's, a home run away from the Epicenter.
Suddenly find yourself craving a Mountain Dew? You're a Pepsi guy and she's all about Diet Pepsi? Then drink your daily dose of carbonation at the Circle K Thirst Buster fountain. Whatever brand you're after, Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, or Dr. Pepper, Circle K keeps it ice cold and ready to go. Of course, Circle K can complement your great tasting Thirst Buster soda with chips, pretzels, candy, hot dogs, beef jerky, or maybe a sandwich. Just about any food you feel like, Thirst Buster can wash it down. Whatever kind of soda you can find yourself in the mood for, Thirst Buster soda fountain's got it. Ice cold and ready to go. Circle K. What else do you need?
It's a 4-3 Rancho Cucamonga lead as we go to the bottom half of the fifth. Nivaldo Acosta will throw his first full inning of relief. He came on and got the lucky break from a strong defensive play that ended the fourth inning with a double play. So Acosta has now thrown 2/3 of an inning technically, although he's only made 4 pitches. He will see Matt Pauley, Matt Brown, and Ben Johnson. Yesterday in the Cal League, Visalia got a win over Bakersfield. The Oaks have already set a number of dubious records this year. And they are the worst team in the league again in the second half. They might set the mark for the worst overall franchise record, the worst half-season record. These are all things which are within the realm of possibility. Acosta's first pitch is high to Pauley, 1-0. The Oaks also, as the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed, a changeup 1-1. The Oaks are also in danger of, for the first time in their history, finishing in last place 3 halves in a row. Here's the 1-1. Inside, 2 balls and a strike. So Visalia is going to need to catch up to Bakersfield to avoid that. They are 4 games back after the win yesterday. 2-1, fastball high and inside. It is now 3 balls and a strike. Joey Gomes hit a big home run, a 3-run blast in the first inning. That gave them all they needed as they beat the Blaze 6-2. Next one is in for a strike. Full count to Pauley. Gomes really struggled in the first half, barely hitting 200. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. Good pitch in on the hands, a fastball. 1 out. Here is Matt Brown, who started the back-to-back-to-back home runs in the fourth. So Brown is 1 for 2. Gomes has lifted his average from 200 all the way up to 311. And he's hit 12 homers with 70 RBIs. T.A. Fulmer got the win, a guy who pitched for Inland Empire last year. He improves to 2-6 after going 5 innings to get the victory. Acosta's pitch to Brown is downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Former big leaguer Dave Coggin is trying to work his way back. Pitched 2 innings, giving up a hit and 3 walks as well as a run for the Oaks. Acosta misses inside and he's fallen behind. 2 balls, no strikes. Lake Elsinore, the team wedged in the standings between the Quakes and the 66ers, lost in Stockton last night. 2-0 pitch is a high strike, 2-1. Final score was 8-4. The Storm had the lead early, but had trouble making contact late, and they struck out 13 times. 9 of those were strikeouts called. Acosta's breaking ball goes low. It's now 3-1. Storm manager Rick Renteria was very frustrated with the umpiring of home plate umpire Jesse Redwine after the game. He said hitters can only control what they can control. Hint, 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 hint. 3-1 pitch, a fastball swung on and missed. It is now 3-2. Brett Dowdy hit a home run for the Storm in the 3rd inning. And in the same inning, Matt Thayer hit a 3-run blast. Justin Crowder of Stockton ended up getting the victory in relief. Struck out 5 in 2 innings. Acosta's next pitch is on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. At the knees and on the corner. 2 strikeouts for Nabaldo here in the 5th after a couple of full counts. And here's Ben Johnson, who homered in his last at-bat. Ben is 1 for 2. And as we told you, Lancaster beat High Desert yesterday, a 16-2 score. Maverick starter John Gregg, who'd thrown a complete game shutout in his last outing, got ripped. The first pitch to Johnson, a high fly ball, straight away center field. Now Balentien realizes it wasn't as well hit as he thought. He's going to have to come in a few steps, but he gets under it. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. That means that we can move into the 6th. The score, Rancho Cucamonga 4 and Inland Empire 3.
The Angels of Tomorrow are in action today at the Epicenter in Rancho Cucamonga. The week of August 1st, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes are home for 6 games versus the High Desert Mavericks and the Inland Empire 66ers. Start the High Desert Series with the Monday Madness package on August 1st with 2 club tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 Cracker Jacks, and 2 sodas, all for just $12. August 3rd is another Weenie Wednesday with Farmer John hot dogs, just $1. And join us for Thirsty Thursday on August 4th. 12-ounce draft beers and canned sodas are just $1. On Saturday, August 6th, the Quakes host the 66ers with a post-game fireworks show sponsored by SoCal Auto. The weekend concludes on Sunday evening with a 5:15 start.
Welcome swings, hits this one up the alleyway, left center field and deep. This one is way back there. This ball is gone. A grand slam.
Tickets at the Epicenter start at just $7, and the best seats in the house are only $10. Fans can purchase tickets in person at the Epicenter ticket office, over the phone at 909-481-5252, or online at rcquakes.com. Come see the Angels of Tomorrow today at the Epicenter in Rancho Cucamonga.
This is AM 1370 KWRM Corona.
It's good to play together on the diamond, but it's even better to play together on your Xbox. When the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes are not on the field, you can usually find them playing Xbox, the official gaming console of the 2005 Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. With several new games for the whole family, online play with Xbox Live, and a new low price of $149. What better time than now to visit your local gaming retailer and pick up your very own Xbox? Xbox now more than ever, it's good to play together.
James Holcomb gives the Quakes a serviceable 5. He gives up 3 runs on 7 hits. He struck out 7 and walked 1, but his pitch count nearing 100. And so he will give way to the bullpen here for the 6th inning, and reliever Justin Dowdy, a left-hander. Dowdy, who had been making some spot starts, goes back to the pen. He has a record of 2-2 this year, an earned run average of 4.9. He'll be making his 36th appearance, 33 of those out of the pen. He struggled some with his control, however. He's walked 25 guys in 60 innings. So the left-hander will face Rob Johnson, Matt Rogelstad, and Asdrúbal Cabrera. Both teams hope every time out that they get a long start from their starting pitcher, because both of these teams have had some adventures with their bullpen. We'll put it that way. The Quakes this year have an earned run average of 4.9 coming out of the pen, 23 wins and 23 losses. The 66ers 4.76. But both of them have had bullpen blow-ups, each of them as recently as last night. Here's the southpaw Dowdy. Rob Johnson hit a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. He struck out called his last time up. Dowdy's first pitch is taken low, 1 ball, no strikes. The 66ers have not fared well against left-handed pitchers this year. In fact, their batting average against southpaws is dead last in the league. Dowdy gets one in on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. While Inland Empire is hitting right-handers 287, lefties only 257. 1-1 is outside from Dowdy with a changeup. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dowdy back into the windup. And here's the pitch to Rogelstat. Swung on, lined in the left center field. That one is going to drop in and roll all the way to the wall. Johnson is on his way to second base. Peel picks it up in left. And Rob Johnson starts off the 6th inning with a double. Johnson swinging a strong bat since being called up from Wisconsin, where he was an all-star. And also voted the best defensive catcher in the league. He's now 2 for 3 with a pair of extra base hits. And here comes Matt Rogelstat, who singled right back up the middle his last time up after striking out in his first at-bat. Rogie, a left-hand hitter, facing the left-handed Holcomb. They arranged their defense pretty interestingly. First pitch to Rogelstat. Curveball is on the outside corner, 0-1. Matt Brown is playing off the bag, but in at the cut of the grass at third in case Rogelstat bunts. Wood playing right behind the runner, Johnson, at shortstop. The outfield is positioned for Rogelstat to hit the opposite direction, and that's good positioning because Rogelstat known for dunking liners the other way. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A slider and a feeble swing, and he fouls it back to the screen, so it is 0-2. A pitch that was going off the outside part of the plate. Rogelstat couldn't hold up, and he just does make contact. Rogelstat has a huge gap out in right center field. He could get a triple if he could pull one out there, but Rogelstat not known for pulling the ball. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Another breaking ball, this time a curve, and it goes downstairs and in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Talked about the Lake Elsinore Storm and some of their frustrations with the umpiring in last night's game. Plate umpire Jesse Redwine. The 1-2 pitch swung on, a pop-up on the infield in front of the mound. Dowdy is calling for it, and right at the edge of the mound, he will make the catch. Usually that's a play where you see the pitcher get out of the way, but Dowdy gets it. 1 down. Here comes Asdrúbal Cabrera, a switch hitter, who will now go to the right side against the left-handed Dowdy. Well, it just so happened, speaking of umpiring, that our pregame guest, Pete Marshall, wrote a column about umpires in the California League. If you don't get the Sun or the Daily Bulletin, you can find it online at sbsun.com. And he had an interesting interview with the Cal League's director of umpire evaluation, John Oldham. Pitch to Cabrera is a little bit inside, 1-0. Umpires in the Cal League are usually pretty young, between 22 and 25. And the Cal League actually has a limit on how long you can umpire in the league. 1-0 pitch, hit down the left field side, but foul up into the stands, and it is 1-1. So you're not going to get long veteran umpires in the league. Oldham says the reasoning is if umpires have been here for a few years and they haven't moved up to AA or AAA, well, there's probably a reason they're still here. And they figure at that point it's probably time to look at some new umpires. Cabrera must have cracked his bat because he's gone to the dugout to get a new one. Marshall says that it would make sense to add another umpire. They use 3 umpires at the AA and AAA level, but only 2 here in single A. Oldham says that is not up to the Cal League. 1-1 pitch to Cabrera, fastball, swung on, a comebacker. That one bounces up off of Dowdy, but he picks it up. His throw is low, and Pauly has to scoop it up. Not a good throw from Dowdy. Johnson advances to third on the play, but Cabrera is retired 1-3. And with 2 outs here is Sam Bradford, who has already had a couple of hits in the game. The number of umpires is decided by the Professional Baseball Umpire Corporation, the PBUC. They also do most of the evaluations. And now with that ball bouncing off of Dowdy, and he's kind of holding his hand out, and so the Quakes are going to send their training staff as well as Ty Boykin and Eric Bennett just to make sure he's okay. The way he's holding his hand, you wonder if maybe he got a little bit of a scrape on it. So they're going to take a look. see if Dowdy can continue. Still down there, checking things out. Let's see if Dowdy is all right. In favor of the Quakes. They're in the top half of the sixth. They're going to have Dowdy throw a practice pitch or two just to see if he's capable of staying in there. And it looks like they're satisfied because Dowdy will remain in the game as Bradford comes up to the plate. Johnson over at third. He led the inning off with a double, but the Sixers so far have been unable to score him. Dowdy now working from the stretch. They're playing Bradford straight away. The first pitch to Sam is a fastball high and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Both of the balls that Bradford got for hits so far in this game were balls that were low in the zone. Dowdy comes set. Here's the 1-0. Bradford swings and then misses. Dowdy took a little bit of something off the fastball. So it's now 1 ball, 1 strike. Sebastian Boucher waiting on deck. 3 runs, 8 hits so far for the 66ers. 4 runs, 7 hits, but 4 big home runs for the Quakes. Here's the 1-1 to Bradford. A curveball stays high. And it is 2 balls and 1 strike. Bradford has not gotten very much playing experience due to some injuries. The 2-1 is a fastball inside corner, 2-2. Last year, Bradford was scheduled to play in Low A, Wisconsin, but early on in the year, he hurt himself slamming into a wall and ended up missing the rest of the season. This year, he's seen some time playing down at the Arizona League, and also a few weeks in AAA Tacoma, although he didn't play very much with the Rainiers. 2-2 pitch to Bradford is fouled back to the screen. Sam, a pretty athletic kid. He's got some power. He's hit 2 home runs in his first week and a half with the 66ers. Bradford graduated from Gardner-Webb University, a school known more for their 1AA football program than they are for baseball. Bradford, one of their pride and joys. He's in the top 5 on their all-time home run and RBI list. The 2-2 pitch to Sam. Changeup was outside, but he chased it and he missed. So a strikeout for Dowdy. The leadoff double doesn't come back to haunt him. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th with Rancho Cucamonga leading 4-3.
Have you ever wanted to host your own radio talk show? How about be a DJ? You know, play your kind of music, your style. Or are you a business owner? Maybe you want people to know more about your business. Well, KWRM 1370 AM is the answer. Well, after all, you're listening to us right now, aren't you? KWRM 1370 covers all of the Inland Empire and all of Orange County as well, plus parts of Long Beach and Covina. The man able to tell people, host your own talk show or you're a DJ. Best part, you keep all the money that you sell from your commercials. No experience is necessary. We'll even train you. Call today. You can be on the air as early as this week. 562-843-0460. That's 562-843-0460.
Faucets leaking, termites feasting, fishing, tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into the yellow book, not the other book. Florists, grocers, water coolers, bakers, jewelers, everything from A to Z. Duct tape, landscape, sit-down mowers, dentists, false teeth, uppers, lowers, wholesale, retail, farm mail, white whale. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into the yellow book. Let your fingers walk into the yellow book, not the other book.
To place your ad at people's fingertips, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
The Quakes are up 4-3 as we go to the home half of the 6th inning. The bottom part of the order will step up. Baucom, Day, and Sugden. Baucom was the tail end of the back-to-back-to-back home runs that the Quakes hit in the 4th. Blake has also walked, so he is 1 for 1. Baucom, a guy who's been heating up of late after a slow start to the season. And the first pitch misses the plate, so it is 1 ball and no strike. Right-hand hitter takes the next one and hits it into right center field, and that will drop in front of Bradford. Sam does a nice job to cut it off in the alley. Baucom's going to go for 2, and Cabrera misses the ball as he tries to get the tag. That was a ball that was thrown, kind of a lob rainbow-type throw. Cabrera tried to scoop it and bring the ball over to the runner's side of the bag at the same time, and the ball slips out the end. It will be a double for Baucom. I suppose you can call that a hustle double. You can also say that he made a bad decision and got lucky. That was a ball that was off the bat, and you immediately thought 2. But Bradford did an excellent job cutting it off in the gap, and he came up throwing. The problem was the throw was a rainbow teardrop. It was in plenty of time, but it was on the wrong side of the bag, and Cabrera was not able to get the tag down. So the Quakes have themselves a double to start the 6th. Here is Devin Day. Double D, and it's been a double day for Devin, who has already hit a couple of 2-baggers. Here comes the first pitch. That one is low, 1 ball and no strike. I dare you to say that 3 times fast, but then again I have to remember what I said in the first place. Baucom leading off at second base. Acosta will look over there. And now fire home. The 1-0 pitch is on the inside corner. That one is a strike. 1-1. Jason Sugden is on deck. I find it interesting, and I did not know this until recently, as Acosta gets ready for his next delivery. Swung on and clapped down the right side. If it drops fair, it's trouble. It bounces just foul, and we're talking inches. That one was hit off the inside part of the bat, inside out, and it almost came in for extra bases. Instead, it's just a foul ball, and it is just a strike. So now 1 ball and 2 strikes. It is interesting, but, the game of baseball, of course, has changed quite a bit. It's been played now for nearing 150 years. And there are actually some retro baseball leagues that are starting to form that play the game the way it used to be played back in the 19th century. Acosta's next pitch is hit high in the air to shallow center. Balentien charges in. He'll make the catch. It is not deep enough for Baucom to advance. So Devin Day is retired for the first time. 1 out. Here comes Jason Sugden, who is 0 for 2. The game of baseball, and back then, it wasn't baseball 1 word. It was 2 words, base and ball. Really spread during the Civil War era. The game had started to become popular in select areas of the country in the late 1850s. And when some of those folks were pulled into the Army on either side, Costa checks second. Here's the pitch to Sugden. Swung on, pulled on the ground towards second base. Garcia Parra fields it. Goes to first for the out, and Baucom will advance to third. 2 outs. Aaron Peel now stepping up. So many of the men in the United States went into one of the armies in the Civil War, and one of the favorite pastimes was baseball. So if you weren't familiar with the game before, you were certainly familiar with it afterwards. Then as guys went back to their home states, they often brought the game of baseball with them, and that's really how baseball started to spread. Pitches on the inside corner for a strike to Peel, 0-1. And it had lots of different rules. Certainly the lingo, the terminology of the game was completely different. Got some action down in the bullpen for the 66ers. 0-1 pitch to Peel, swung on and missed, a breaking ball. 0-2. Left-hander Troy Cate is throwing for the 66ers. For instance, when the game was played back during the 1860s, 70s, and 80s, they did not use gloves. 0-2 fastball just misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Because they did not use gloves, you did not have to catch the ball on the fly for it to be considered a fly out. You were allowed 1 hop. If you caught it on 1 bounce, then it was still an out. 1-2 from Acosta goes outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. If the ball bounced twice, then it was in play. And it's interesting that there are leagues now popping up all across the country where they play the game in this old-fashioned way. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch from Acosta, lunged at and lined down the left field line. That drops in for extra bases, and will go to the ball. 1 run will score. Peel is into second base with an RBI double, and the Quakes get some insurance as they get the hit, and they lead it 5-3. RBI number 19 for Aaron Peel. That is the 4th double that the Quakes have hit in this game to go along with 4 home runs. So they are piling on the extra base hit. And here's Brandon Wood, who hasn't really had a share of it yet. He swings and misses at a pitch that was in on his hands. It's 0-1. Wood has struck out, flied out, and walked. The Quakes have already had as many extra base hits against the 66ers as any team has all year long. The 0-1 is low, 1 ball, 1 strike. High Desert got 8 extra base hits against Inland Empire all the way back on the 11th of April. That's the only other time that a team has done that. And the next extra base hit will be a record, at least for a Sixers opponent this year. The 1-1 to Wood is low, 2 balls and a strike. It used to be in baseball, back during the 1860s and 70s, that there were pretty strict codes of behavior. They were just things you could not say. 2-1 pitch, a high fly ball deep to left field. It's fair, it's gone. See you later. Over the left field wall, a home run for Brandon Wood, and the Quakes go on top 7-3. Home runs has struck again. A 2-run blast over the left field wall. That is number 35. He now has 94 RBIs on the year. What a season for Brandon Wood. And the Quakes have some room to breathe. Meanwhile, here's Dallas McPherson. And that's a fastball outside, 1 ball and no strike. 5 home runs for the Quakes in this game. That is the first time they have done that all year long. The 1-0 pitch is in for a strike to McPherson. It is 1-1. That same game that the High Desert Mavericks got 8 extra base hits against the 66ers, they hit 5 home runs back in April. Acosta's fastball is high, 2-1. But the Quakes are having a major power surge. 9 extra base hits, 5 home runs, and 4 doubles. The 2-1 pitch to McPherson is high and away, 3 balls and a strike. And that is 28 total bases just on the extra base hit. 3-1, McPherson lunges for 1 and tips it off the end of the bat, 3-2. Sixers manager Darren Brown now is probably going to say some of the things under his breath that would have gotten you fined back during the 1860s or 70s. You know, if you said something terrible like blame my buttons, that could cost you a nickel. 3-2 from Acosta, swung on and missed for strike 3. But the Quakes strike for 3 more. A couple of doubles and a big 2-run homer from Brandon Wood. That means that as we go to the 7th inning, it is Rancho Cucamonga 7 and Inland Empire 3.
Friends and family visiting you this summer? Don't worry. Add a room instantly by calling your friends at the Red Roof Inn. Red Roof Inns offer quality rooms, friendly service, great rates, and kids stay free. Plus, as a Ready Card preferred member, you'll earn points towards free room nights. With 360 Red Roof Inns nationwide, you'll find locations everywhere, including Ontario, San Dimas, and Victorville. Visit us today at redroof.com or or dial 800-RED-ROOT. Rancho Cucamonga Quakes baseball on KWRM 1370.
8-figure contracts, multi-million-dollar signing bonuses, million-dollar incentive clauses. Yes, professional athletes get paid a lot. But hey, you expect them to. After all, they're in the big leagues. Now, Allstate's in the big leagues, but that doesn't mean you have to pay a lot. In fact, you may be surprised to learn that 7 out of 10 drivers who switched their auto insurance to Allstate said they saved money. And you can always expect great service, even if your Allstate agent happens to pull a hamstring playing softball. Big league insurance for less. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
Rancho Cucamonga, thanks to 5 home runs, has built a 7-3 lead over the 66ers. As we move into the late innings, the top half of the 7th, Justin Dowdy ready for his second inning of relief work, and he will face Sebastian Boucher, Michael Garcia-Parra, and then Bucky Jacobsen. We were talking about old-time baseball before the turn of the 1900s, and there are now some leagues that are starting to grow up to play it. Apparently, there's about 150 vintage teams scattered across the country, including a 12-team league which plays in New England. There's also one in Northern California, the Bay Area Vintage Baseball League. Boucher takes a strike from Dowdy, so it's 0-1. So they can reenact some games. It gives you a chance to really see what baseball used to be like. They wear the old type of uniforms as Boucher takes a horrible swing at a pitch that was outside, and he misses 0-2. The women who come to watch the game wear the old hoop skirts. All the gentlemen have to wear ties and hats. 0-2, Boucher takes in the dirt. So it is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Catchers were not called catchers. They were called behind. And this was the thing I thought was the most interesting. As the 1-2 pitch on the way to Boucher is taken just off the outside corner, 2-2. The pitcher back then threw underhand, but before he threw the pitch, he would ask the hitter where he would like the ball placed. 2-2 down in the dirt, full count. Usually it went something like, "Where would you like it, sir?" And then the hitter could say, "Oh, I'd like you to throw it up and in, put it on the outside corner." 3-2 pitches outside, ball 4. I'm not making this up. Boucher gets the leadoff walk, and here comes Michael Garcia-Parra. So if you're interested, you can probably find some more information online. See where they play some of these old-fashioned baseball games. And maybe you can find one to check out. It certainly piqued my curiosity. Here's Michael Garcia-Parra. He has struck out twice and walked once. And the first pitch is taken inside, 1 ball, no strike. Sebastian Boucher has fantastic speed over at first base, but you can't imagine down by 4 with no one out in Boucher at first that they want to run themselves out of a potentially big inning. Here comes the pitch, 1-0, swung on and fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Boucher has stolen 6 bases since coming up to the 66ers. No one throwing down in the Quakes bullpen. Troy Cate has completed his warm-up tosses for the Sixers. It's likely we'll see Troy in the bottom half of the 7th, but Ty Boykin will ask Justin Dowdy to get the Quakes through the 7th. 1-1 to Garcia-Parra. Swung on, hit up the middle, could be 2. Bounces off the mound. Wood steps on the back for 1. His throw is high, but Pauly is back on the base in time. A double play for the Quakes. Six to 3 on the twin killing. And now with 2 outs, here comes Bucky Jacobsen. Bucky is 2 for 2. He's also been hit by a pitch. And it's hard to believe if you look at Bucky. And again, he's about 6'4", at least 250. He says he was teeny tiny when he went to high school. First pitch is inside, 1-0. Bucky says when he went out for his freshman baseball team in high school, he was 4'11" and 94 pounds. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Jacobsen takes outside, so the count is now 2-0. Bucky says it's great to be a fan favorite. He says he can understand it. He says if he was a fan, he would also cheer for a big, fat, bald guy named Bucky. A 2-0 pitch, waves at an off-speed delivery and misses, 2-1. That is a direct quote. Jacobsen was born in a small town in Wyoming, grew up in southern Oregon, and played NAIA baseball at Lewis and Clark State in Lewiston, Idaho. 2-1 to Jacobsen, swung on and missed, 2-2. LC State, a fantastic NAIA program, not just in baseball. They also usually have very good basketball teams as well, a number of top athletic programs, and they've produced some pretty good talent. Coach Ed Sheff and company down at LC State. Here's the 2-2 pitch, swung on, lunged at, and hit foul off the first base side, so Jacobsen will stay alive. Still 2-2. Jacobsen saw his career with the Milwaukee Brewers organization stagnate. He was released a few years ago, played a year or two in the Cardinals system before being released again. The 2-2 pitch to Jacobsen is inside. We now have a full count. Bucky went to the Mariners and started putting up some pretty good numbers. Didn't get a call up, and he told his friends he was just going to put up numbers that were so good they'd have to call him up, and that's exactly what happened. 3-2 pitch, broken bat, hard ground ball to third, picked up by Brown. The bat will go all the way by shortstop Brandon Wood, but Brown's throw goes all the way to first, in time to get Jacobsen. A leadoff walk, but nothing else. We go to the bottom half of the seventh. The score, Rancho Cucamonga up 7-3.
Galliano Winery, located at 1431 Wineville Road in Mariloma, California. In business since 1927, the Galliano family's roots run deep in Cucamonga Valley's winemaking history, offering a unique array of 25 varieties, including award-winning wines as well as custom label. The Galliano tradition continues to grow in the Inland Empire. Try the latest award-winning wines in a relaxed country atmosphere of the tasting room. Enjoy a tour of our landmark complex or relax in the beautiful picnic grounds. To reach Galliano Winery, call 909-685-5376. That's 909-685-5376. Or stop by Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday, 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Hello, Best Western.
Hi, I'd like to book a room.
Sure, for how long?
5 months, so 161 days.
161 days?
Yep, don't want to miss out on any bobbleheads.
Wow, I guess so.
Actually, they're not for me, though. They're for my, son.
I'm sure they are.
Stay at any Best Western in California, Nevada, and Hawaii between April 7th and September 15th and ask for the baseball rate. You'll get up to 25% off your stay and get a free limited edition bobblehead. Different Major League star in their minor league uniform with each stay. Log on to TravelBestWestern.com for additional terms or call 1-800-WESTERN. Guests must register in advance and quantities are limited.
The Quakes, who have lost 4 out of 5, have themselves a 7-3 lead as we go to the bottom half of the seventh. They'll try to add some more insurance. Nabaldo Acosta, who has allowed 3 runs so far in 2 2/3 innings, will remain out there, although Troy Cate has been loosening up in the pen. It will be Matt Pauley, Matt Brown, and Ben Johnson coming up to the plate. Paul is just one of 2 Quakes yet to record a hit so far in this game, and he's got a 12-game hit streak on the line. Acosta's first pitch catches the outside corner, and that is strike 1. Baldo's next one on the way, swung on and missed. Another fastball. Nothing in 2. Pauley is grounded out, lined out, and struck out. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Pauley hits it up the middle, and his hit streak will be alive. And now 13 games as Pauley gets the leadoff single here in the 7th. On an 0-2 pitch, Acosta came right over the plate. And Pauley gets the hit. Now here comes Matt Brown, who is 1 for 3 with a homer. The 66ers now get a right-hander throwing in the pen, Oliver Arias. So they might let a couple of guys get some work in. trailing by 4 here in the late inning. Now, the Sixers win last night, coming from behind to tie it in the 9th, and then win it in the 10th. First pitch to Brown, swung on, one hopper to short. Cabrera knocks it down, picks it up, and he will not have a play. So a ball that was a pretty tough one to play, and they're going to give him an error. Boy, that's a pretty tough call on a ball that really handcuffed him at short. But they're going to ring Cabrera up, E6. And so runners at first and second with no one out. Rob Johnson goes out to have a word, and now they're going to change their minds on it and give him a single. So an infield hit for Matt Brown, who is now 2 for 4. And here comes Johnson, who has homered and flown out in his other 2 at bat. Area still loosening up in the pen for the 66ers. No one throwing for the Quakes, so we'll probably see Dowdy another inning. Here comes the pitch from Acosta, swung on and fouled back to the screen, 0-1. Read an interesting article lately in the Seattle Times. It was a great piece just with some great baseball stories, and kind of the thing that brought it all together, the topic, if you will, was chatting it up on the field. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Acosta. Fastball, high fly ball, deep to right field. Going back is Bradford. He's at the warning track, looks up, and this one is up and over the right field wall. The Quakes have hit a 6th home run, a 3-run blast. Johnson's second, and the Quakes are up 10-3. Homers, 4 RBIs on the game. Now he's 10 on the year. 27 runs batted in. Here is Blake Baca. The pitch from Acosta is on the outside corner, strike 1. Nabaldo now has allowed 6 runs in 2 2/3 innings. And this one's gotten ugly. Fastball goes high and outside. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. 10-3 Rancho Cucamonga in the 7th. The 1-1 is low. 2 balls and a strike. The 66ers continuing Arias warming up. Oliver, a guy who usually kind of comes in when the game is either well in hand or when the team falls behind by quite a large margin, so you know where they're at now. 2-2. We'll have to check and see how High Desert is doing. If the Quakes hold on to win, to see if they'll have a chance of picking up a game on the map. 2-2 pitch, a little blooper hit off the fist. Cabrera charging in will make the catch on the little looper. And there's 1 out here in the inning. That'll bring up Devin Day. Runs, 13 hits. And 6 home runs. The most the Quakes had hit in a game before this was 4. I mean, to hit 6 in a game, that was a lot of offense. Day has a couple of doubles, and he takes the fastball high. It is 1-0. Sixers staying with Acosta despite allowing the 6 runs. The 1-0 pitch from Nabaldo drops in, a curveball for a strike, 1-1. Quakes now have 10 extra base hits out of 13. The 1-1 is in for a strike, 1-2. That would be a season best for Rancho Cucamonga as well, as they try to snap out of this little mini funk and get some momentum going once again in the Southern Division race. The 1-2 pitch from Acosta, a breaking ball, is in the dirt. So it is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Acosta will get a new ball. And here's the pitch to Devin Day. Fastball hit down the right field line, but slicing back foul. Bradford will come over, but it bounces inside of the 66ers bullpen, where it will disrupt Oliver Arias' warm-up. Quakes fans can be happy. High Desert's lead did not last. They're still in progress, but Lancaster now has a 6-1 lead in the 8th, thanks to 2 runs in the 6th and 4 in the 7th. A 2-2 from Acosta. High and away, ball 3, full count. If the scores remain the same, then the Quakes will pull back to within a game of High Desert. Alex Frazier has hit his 15th home run, and Matt Chico is still on the mound in the 8th. Dave fouls it back, so it stays 3-2. Chico has allowed just a run and 6 hits through 7 innings plus. Bakersfield is up on Visalia 4-1 in the 8th. Stockton over Lake Elsinore 5-3. Home runs by Morton and Turner. That game is in the 7th. The 3-2 pitch from Nabaldo Acosta is fouled back to the screen. Devin Day is now fouled back 3. He's seen 8 pitches in the at-bat. Modesto has a 4-3 lead over San Jose in the 8th inning. Buescher's hit a home run for the Giants. So High Desert trailing. 3-2 fastball is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Acosta touching 92 on the gun. 4th strikeout for Nabaldo, 2nd out in the inning, and here is Jason Sugden, the only Quake without a hit. He is 0 for 3. I started talking about an article I read in the Seattle Times. Just great stories about talking on the field. Baseball is a very sociable game because there are so many pauses and so many places where the players come in contact with each other. Acosta's pitch is inside to Sugden, 1-0. One common place for discussion is at the corner infield bag, as Acosta's next pitch is in for a strike, 1-1. Matt Williams, who had so many great years at third base for the Giants and then with the Diamondbacks, was quite well known for listening in on conversations at third. The 1-1 pitch is inside, 2-1. It wasn't like he was trying to pick up any kind of secret information. He just liked butting into other people's conversations. Apparently, Adrian Beltre does the same sort of thing. Next pitch is swung on and missed. It is now 2-2. Of course, another part of the game is just getting on a guy. Bench jockeying. The art of the well-timed insult. Acosta misses. The count now runs full, 3-2. Ron Hasse, who had a long career as a catcher in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, says it's part of the game. Helps keep people relaxed sometimes. Acosta's pitch is inside, check swing. Sugden did not go around, and that is ball 4. So Jason reaches base for the first time. Here comes Aaron Peel, who is 1 for 3. He struck out twice, but had an RBI double in his last at-bat. Don Baylor, who is a coach for the Mariners, says that when he was in his heyday, the most relentless trash talkers were Frank Robinson, Tom Seaver, Billy Martin, Earl Weaver, and Reggie Jackson. Acosta gets a first pitch strike to Peel, 0-1. He said Reggie Jackson was the worst, but it wasn't personal, so you could give it right back to him. And he didn't mind. 0-1, swung on and missed. The fastball, 0-2. But not everybody talks to get on guys. Some guys are just personable. Some guys just enjoy conversation. You know, Sean Casey, the Reds, has the nickname The Mayor. 0-2 pitches high, 1-2. They've nicknamed him the Mayor because he likes to greet guys when they get to first base. Casey says that at some point he wants to publish a book called Conversations at the Corner, sharing some of the stories he's heard while playing first base. The 1-2 pitch goes outside, 2-2. Casey says he was a huge fan of Mark McGwire, so when McGwire came over to the Cardinals one time, Mark was running at first base, and Casey was holding him on. And he said he was so thrilled just to get a chance to be that close to McGwire. The 2-2 swung on, drilled in the left center field. Boucher racing back, and this one is going to bounce up against the wall. Sugden rounds third. He's headed for home. The relay from Cabrera is not in time. It's an RBI double for Aaron Peel, and the Quakes go up with another run. It's now 11-3. Aaron Peel gets his second straight RBI double. He's now knocked in 20 runs this year. The hits just keep on coming. And here's Brandon Wood. Brandon will have a new pitcher to face because Darren Brown has gone to the mound, and he will bring in Oliver Arias in relief. Let's take a 90-second timeout. The Quakes have added 4 more here in the 7th. They busted it open, up 11-3. We'll be right back.
We at KWRM 1370 know that you have a choice when it comes to sports radio, and we also know that you're in the right place. By airing the local games that matter most to you, KWRM is your Orange County and Inland Empire sports leader. Whether it's professional baseball, college basketball, or high school football, no one delivers the best and exciting local play-by-play like KWRM. Check out our new website at KWRM1370am.com. That's KWRM1370am.com, and thanks for being a part of our all-star lineup. Are you fed up with the rising cost of cable? Want the same digital picture quality at a fraction of the price? Well, make the move to Dish Network today, the nation's leading provider of satellite television. Dish Network has been in business for over 25 years and has more customers and lower prices than DirecTV. How about our basic service starting as low as just $19.99 a month? No matter where you're at nationwide, they're offering a free 4-room system with free equipment, free installation, and best of all, free TiVo. So you can pause and record live television, never miss that movie or your favorite show again, and skip through all the commercials. Dish Network's technicians are licensed, bonded, and insured, so the job will get done right the first time. If it breaks or if you move, they can take care of you for free as well. Ask us how to receive $12 a month off your monthly bill for an entire year or get free HBO and Showtime. What are you waiting for? Cable and DirecTV to keep raising their prices? Call an authorized Dish Network dealer today at 562.
Oliver Arias will come on to face Brandon Wood. The Quakes have an 11-3 lead here in the bottom half of the 7th. And Aaron Peel is standing over at second base. 2 outs. Acosta goes 3 innings plus. He has allowed 7 runs so far, and Arias delivers a first-pitch fastball high, 1-0. Oliver is in his 3rd stint with the Sixers this year. He's been the organizational pitcher extreme for the Mariners. The 1-0 pitch is a little bit low, 2 balls and no strikes. Arias has already spent time this year here, Tacoma, Everett. He's pitched at every level whenever somebody needs an arm for a few weeks, but he's finally looks like he might have found his home here in his 3rd stint with the Sixers. A curveball drops in for a strike, 2-1. Oliver, making his 9th appearance, has no record, an ERA of 5.91. Arias is from the Dominican Republic, and he runs with a pretty heady crowd. When you talk about ball players, pitch is hit off the hands, foul, 2-2. Oliver's father runs the Dominican Republic camp for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And he's worked for the Dodgers for a number of years. And you think of some of the great arms from the Dominican who came up through that system. Well, those are the guys that Oliver calls friends. 2-2 pitch. Fastball is swung on and missed, and he has struck out Brandon Wood. Arias talks at least 2 or 3 times a week with his good friend Pedro Martinez. He also talks frequently with older brother Ramon, with Pedro Estacio. He gets help from a lot of different guys. And maybe he learned something that he used there to get Brandon Wood to go down on strike. The Quakes put up 4 more runs, thanks to another big homer, a 3-run blast from Ben Johnson. We will head to the 8th. The score 11-3 Rancho Cucamonga.
Faucets leaking, termites feasting, fishing, tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, carpet makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers do the walking, yellow book, not the other book. Florists, grocers, water coolers, bakers, jewelers, everything from A to Z. Duct tape, landscape, sit-down mowers, dentists, false teeth, uppers, lowers, wholesale, retail, fine mail, wide whale. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers do the walking, yellow book. Let your fingers do the walking, yellow book. Not the other book.
To place your ad at people's fingertips, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
This is James Rousen, hitting coach of the Quakes for the Ontario Airport Marriott. If you're looking for a great place to eat, the Ontario Airport Marriott features the D Street Sports Bar and Grill, open daily from 11:30 to 1:30. The Pacific Grill for the fine diner, or stop by the 24-hour Pacific Deli. The Ontario Airport Marriott is located at 2200 East Holt Boulevard, right off the 10 freeway. The Ontario Airport Marriott, a proud sponsor of your 2005 Quakes on the Radio.
Well, the Quakes have blown this one open. It's 11-3 in favor of Rancho Cucamonga. The 66ers will start things off with Bryan LaHair in the 8th. Justin Dowdy in for his third inning of relief, and his first pitch is a strike, 0-1. 3 runs, 8 hits for Inland Empire, 11 runs, 14 hits for the Quakes. No error from either team. Pitch is outside, 1-1. Of course, the Quakes doing the big damage with 6 home runs. Started talking about players talking on the field, and we were telling a story about Sean Casey. A 1-1 pitch to LaHair, a check swing on a pitch that catches the outside corner anyway, 1-2. Casey known for talking with everybody at first base. In fact, Phil Nevin, now of the Rangers, says it's like the close talker from Seinfeld. He says sometimes Casey gets so close you think he's going to lick your face. The 1-2 pitch, LaHair takes low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Casey was playing first. Mark McGuire, his hero, reaches. Casey is holding him on. The 2-2 pitch to LaHair. Misses outside, full count. Well, McGuire was never much of a threat to run. So the Reds coaches started yelling at Casey to not hold him on, to back up and play behind him. The 3-2 pitch to LaHair, a check swing on a ball that goes outside, and that's a walk. Leadoff man's aboard. Here's Wladimir Balentien. Well, Casey was so enamored with the idea of being that close and actually talking with McGuire that he actually ignored his coaches. He pretended like he couldn't hear them so that he could stay and talk with McGuire just a little bit longer. Henry Rodriguez once got so absorbed in a conversation with Casey that he got picked off first. Balentien swings and misses, no balls and 1 strike. There was a time when Bob Watson was playing for Atlanta, and Mets pitcher John Matlock reached base, so he was over at first. And they were talking about the best places to buy clothes in New York. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Balentien. This is inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the pitcher uncorked a wild pitch. Matlock had second base easily, but he wanted to hear the rest of the recommendation, so he didn't run, even though his first base coach right next to him was screaming at him to take second. The 1-1 to Balentien, swung on and missed, 1-2. Doug Flynn, who is an infielder, reached base one time and started chatting with a former teammate, Pete Rose. Balentien lifts one up in the deep right center field. Going back is Sugden. Out in the power alley, goes all the way back to the wall, and he makes the catch right before he backed into the fence. So Balentien tried to hit one the other way, ends up being a long out. One away, and here is Rob Johnson. Rob having a big game, a home run and a double, and 2 RBIs. So Flynn was over at first base and started having a very serious, important conversation with Rose because Pete was setting him up on a blind date. And believe it or not, Flynn ended up marrying the woman. Scott Spezio had some interesting conversations with Barry Bonds. Pitch is high to Johnson, 1 ball, no strikes. This would be during the 2002 World Series. And Spezio is playing for the Angels, and Bonds, of course, with the Giants. The 1-0 pitch to Johnson, swung on and missed. A changeup, 1-1. Spezio says, and remember, this is that incredible season Bonds had. Spezio said it was just amazing to see the confidence that Barry Bonds had at that time. 1-1 pitch to Johnson, big curveball that drops on the inside corner for a strike, 1-2. The Angels were up 5-0 early. Pitchers had been pitching around Bonds for the most part, but Mike Scioscia gave Kevin Napier instructions to go after him. The 1-2 pitch is low. It gets away from Johnson, and LaHair will head down to his second base on a wild pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Napier wasn't supposed to walk Bonds, but he did anyway. Just missed the zone. When Barry got to first, he said to Spezio, "You guys are afraid to pitch to me." Spezia said actually he wasn't supposed to walk you. This was Bonds' answer. He said he had no choice. If he throws anything over the plate, it's a home run. Spezia says now he wasn't joking. It wasn't like he was just being cocky. He just really had that confidence that year that if it was over the plate, it was a home run. 2-2 pitch, high and outside, now a full count to Johnson. Rico Bronya once talked Bonds into trying to steal a base. Kurt Schilling was the pitcher, and when Bonds got to first, he said to his base coach that Schilling's move to the plate was too quick to run on. Here's the 3-2. Johnson swings. It's a high fly ball deep to right field. Backing up is Bauckham. He's on the warning track. He will make the catch, and LaHair will move up to third base on the play. A couple of long fly ball outs, but not much damage done. 2 down, a man over at third, and here is Matt Rogelstad, who is 1 for 3. So Bonds felt that he really couldn't steal a bag against Schilling, but Bronya said, come on, Barry, you're a 30-30 guy. Why don't you give it a try? And Bonds did and ended up getting thrown out. And as he ran back across the infield, he just smiled at Bronya. Rico said, you give a challenge to a great player like that, he's going to take it. Sometimes players will talk to try to manipulate the circumstance, and they say the all-time champion of that was Ricky Henderson, who likes to talk, period. And the pitch is a strike to Rogelstad, 0-1. Pat Borders, who caught behind Ricky several times, said that Henderson would come up to the plate and try to talk him into giving him the pitch he wanted. 0-1, a breaking ball is on the outside corner. It's 0-2. Henderson would mutter under his breath, like he was talking to himself. He'd say, something along the lines of, stay back on the curveball, stay back on the curveball. Like he didn't know he was saying it, even though he really did want the catcher to hear. 0-2 to Rogelstad is fouled back, so it stays 0-2. Well, if he was saying stay back on the curveball, he was really trying to talk him into giving him a fastball. So Borders said you'd have to do reverse psychology, give him a curveball anyway. Play the mind game right back at Ricky. 0-2 pitch to Rogelstad, swung on and again hit foul. Stays 0-2. The Sixers came from behind, getting 3 runs in the 9th inning last night, but there's a huge difference between being down 3 and being down 8 as they are here. Rancho Cucamonga's bats came to play, and they've gotten some good relief pitching here from Justin Dowdy. Rogelstad lifts one into left field. Peel will give way, back up a few steps, now come back in and make the catch. So the leadoff walk comes to naught for Inland Empire, and through 7.5. The score, Rancho Cucamonga 11. And Inland Empire 3.
Pioneer Radio and Sports would like to thank the following businesses who are committed to customer service.
This Quakes broadcast is brought to you in part by R&E Upholstery, furniture and automotive upholstery. Buy blinds for you. Need a new view? Call the blind guy. By the Bulldog Pub, a taste of Britain in Upland. And by Monarch Pool Replastering, king of the pool industry.
Omaha Jack's Grill House and Brewery is open just north of the Epicenter in Mozzie Plaza. Come in for outstanding food featuring great steaks, fresh seafood, and roasted prime rib. Not to mention an in-house brewery and live entertainment. Quakes fans, show your ticket stub after a ball game and receive 10% off. Can't make it in after the game? Then stop in before for great steaks. Or how about a great place to meet for lunch? Lunch specials start at just $5.99. Omaha Jack's, a home run away from the Epicenter.
You know, the goal of baseball is to get home quickly. The last thing you want to see is some player lollygagging around third when there's going to be a close play at the plate. Well, Farmer John feels the same way about ham, bacon, sausage, and hot dogs. You know, all Farmer John products are made fresh right here in the Southland. That way, they get to your home as quickly as possible. And it's a short slide into the plate. That's your plate at home. No home plate. Get fresh. Get Farmer John.
Rancho Cucamonga now just looking to put some finishing touches on a ball game where they have full command, up 11-3. Oliver Arias remaining in relief as we go to the home half of the 8th. And here is Dallas McPherson, who has contributed once again, 2 for 4 with a home run. and an RBI. I read an interesting story about Dallas. McPherson used to be afraid when he was a little boy, only about 5 years old. He used to be afraid of the baseball. When he was in the field, fly balls kind of scared him. He thought they'd hit him and they would hurt. Arias gets his first pitch in for a strike, 0-1. But he loved the game and told his dad he wanted to be a big league player, so his dad, Mitchell, knew that McPherson would obviously have to get over that fear if he was going to make it. 0-1 from Arias, misses inside, a ball and a strike. So McPherson's dad one day took out a belt and he strapped young Dallas to a tree and began tossing baseballs at him. The 1-1, McPherson swings and fouls it back off his fist, 1-2. I mean, when you're tied up to a tree, you don't have anywhere to go. So his options were catch the ball or get hit. Dallas said that his mom came home and finds McPherson all tied up against this tree. Said it led to a big fight, but it worked. By the end of the day, he was catching everything. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I feel like telling that story, I should give a disclaimer. Dads, don't tie your kids up to trees. Find a different way to teach them how to catch. But that's what Dallas said helped him to get over his fear of the ball. He rolls one through the hole into right field, and Dallas has his 3rd hit of the game. A little base hit, didn't have to kill that one to get himself aboard. Here comes Matt Pauley. Matt is 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored. McPherson said growing up in North Carolina, they would spend endless hours, Dallas and his dad, playing catch, and there would be days where Dallas would want to go back inside, and Mitchell would say somewhere, somebody is working harder than you. The pitch is outside, 1-0. They're not holding McPherson on at first. You wouldn't imagine that he tried to steal with an 8-run lead, although Dallas did swipe a bag earlier in the game. Arias delivers his next pitch on the outside corner. That's a strike. It is 1-1. McPherson credits his dad with turning him into the player that he is today. Here's the 1-1. Another off-speed pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-2. McPherson was drafted out of high school, but decided to go to the Citadel. And that's a place where sleeping late means setting the alarm for 7. Normally they were up by 6. McPherson will steal a base. Here's a ball driven deep to right center. Balentien to the wall. Home run number 7 for the Quakes. Somebody make the bad man stop. It is 13-3. Hits number 11 on the year. He's got 65 RBIs. 7 home runs in 1 game. Unbelievable. Quakes go up by 10. Here is Matt Brown, who's had a home run himself. The pitch is low, 1 ball, no strikes. You know, it's not just players who get involved in having conversations on the field. Sometimes the umpires will even get involved. A 1-0 pitch from Arias is high, 2 balls and no strikes. Probably the all-time king of umpires being chatty would be Ron Luciano, who wrote some very well-regarded books, including one called The Umpire Strikes Back. The 2-0 pitch is foul-tipped at the plate, 2-1. He also wrote one called The Fall of the Roman Umpire. And after he was done umping, he became a broadcaster. Luciano would go out there and high-five the players who made good plays. One of his former umpiring crew partners, Ed Montague, remembers working a game with Luciano. He looked out to center field, and Ron was out there talking with the players during the middle of the game. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Arias gives him a fastball. This one is hit high in the air to center, but this one will stay in the park. Thank goodness. Balentien will make the catch, and there's the first down of the inning. Here's Ben Johnson, who's already hit a pair of homers. One time when Ron Luciano was the home plate umpire, and he kept up a steady stream of banter, Hall of Famer Carl Yastrzemski came up to the plate. And before Luciano could even say a word, Yastrzemski said, I'm fine, my family's fine, I can't recommend a good restaurant right now, so let's shut up. I wonder if Luciano got the point. Probably not. So the pitch comes outside from Arias. It's 1-0. One obvious place where the players will talk is when they have a conference on the mound. The 1-0 pitch from Arias is squibbed down the third baseline, but that one will go foul. A ball and a strike. Tom Candiotti, who pitched in the majors for several years, a knuckleballer, remembered Mike Piazza coming out to the mound once and conducting the entire conversation using his Beavis voice from the popular MTV cartoon that was on at the time. Greg Maddux was a guy who never needed a lot of mound visits from his pitching coach. 1-1 is swung on and missed at a ball that was in the dirt, 1-2. Well, Maddux says one time when he was pitching for the Braves, he reminded pitching coach Leo Mazzoni that Mazzoni hadn't visited the mound for 2 months. So Maddux says, why did you come out in the 6th inning just for a visit? 1-2 from Arias is swung on and missed for strike 3. Oliver gets his second strikeout. 2 down the inning. Here is Blake Bockham, who is 2 for 3, including, you guessed it, a homer. So it's the 6th inning, and Mazzoni got up and went out to the mound. Leo said, how are you doing? Maddux says, I'm fine, you can go now. And he walked right back out. Brian Price, the pitching coach for the Mariners, tried an interesting way of talking to his pitcher as the ball comes into Bockham for a strike, 0-1. This is when Price was in Double-A, and there was a talented but erratic prospect on the mound named Ivan Montaigne. Pitches in the dirt, 1-1 to Bockham. Price remembers going out to the mound and asking how he was doing. Ivan said he was fine. Price says, you know what, Ivan? I'm not fine. You're 2 more bad outings from me being back in A-ball. You're pitching me back to A-ball. Here's a chopper up the middle. Cabrera leaps in the air to grab it. The throw to first is in time for the out. And Cabby made a nice play to end the inning. 2 more runs. Yet another home run, the 7th of the game for the Quakes. And as we go to the 9th, the score is 13-3 Rancho Cucamonga.
We at KWRM 1370 know that you have a choice when it comes to sports radio, and we also know that you're in the right place. By airing the local games that matter most to you, KWRM is your Orange County and Inland Empire sports leader. Whether it's professional baseball, college basketball, or high school football, no one delivers the best in exciting local play-by-play like KWRM. Check out our new website at KWRM1370am.com. That's KWRM1370am.com, and thanks for being a part of our all-star lineup.
And you're listening to Quakes Baseball on AM 1370, KWRM Corona.
It's good to play together on the diamond, but it's even better to play together on your Xbox. When the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes are not on the field, you can usually find them playing Xbox, the official gaming console of the 2005 Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. With several new games for the whole family, online play with Xbox Live, and a new low price of $149. What better time than now to visit your local gaming retailer and pick up your very own Xbox? Xbox now more than ever, it's good to play together.
When enjoying a delicious hot dog at the Epicenter, bring out the best in that hot dog with delicious condiments provided by Hellman's. Whether it's yellow mustard, tomato ketchup, or sweet relish, Hellman's is sure to add that complimentary taste to the ballpark food as the official condiment of the Epicenter. Hellman's also provides Quake fans with barbecue sauce, marinara sauce, or ranch dressing for the finger foods at the park. This season, the Quakes and Hellman's have teamed up to form a winning combination at the concession stand. The next time you're eating at the Epicenter, bring out the best with Hellman's, provided by Unilever Food Solutions, the official condiment provider of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes.
Nick Touchstone will come in and relief for an inning of mop-up with the Quakes up 13-3 in the 9th. Justin Dowdy, an excellent outing in relief, going 3 shutout innings with 1 hit allowed, a strikeout and 2 walks. Touchstone has had a tough time this year. Nick is 3-1, but has an earned run average of 9.92 in only 15 appearances. 16 in the 3rd innings, he's allowed 18 earned runs, 23 runs overall. The lefty will face Asdrúbal Cabrera, Sam Bradford, and Sebastian Boucher. The 7 home runs that the Quakes have hit tonight ties their franchise record which was set back on July the 29th of 1999 at High Desert. No surprise that it would be there. Much more surprising to do it here. The Cal League record, in case that is on your mind, and it is something that the Quakes will not reach tonight, would be 8. So the Quakes just one short of that. So Nick Touchstone facing Asdrúbal Cabrera. The first pitch to Cabby is a fastball low, 1 ball, no strikes. Cabrera has grounded out all 3 times up. We were talking about things that pitching coaches say to pitchers when they come out to the mound for their little visit. The 1-0 to Cabrera, pulled on the ground to third. Brown drops it, picks it back up, and he has enough time to go to first, 1 out. Bob Cluck, the pitching coach of the Tigers, used to be the pitching coach for the Astros. Mark Portugal was on the mound, and Portugal gave up 3 home runs on 3 successive pitches against the Reds. And after each home run that the Reds hit, they would set off a fireworks display. After manager Art Howe told Cluck to go to the mound, here comes the pitch to Mike Nesbitt, who is pinch hitting for Bradford. And that one is in for a strike, so it is 0-1. Nesbitt coming off the bench. 0-1 pitch is a little bit low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Cluck tried to think of what he could say to Portugal to try to lighten the mood a little bit. So he went out, and here's the pitch from Touchstone. 1-1, a check swing on a ball that's low. 2-1. Cluck said, "Hey, Porchy, the guy with the cannon called." He said, "Slow down, I can't reload that fast." Apparently Portugal laughed, it loosened him up, and he went on to win the game despite giving up the 3 homers. The 2-1 way inside to Nesbitt. It's now 3 balls and a strike. So all kinds of interesting things can happen on a baseball field. We've certainly seen that with the Quakes' 7 home runs tonight. 3-1. Here's the pitch to Nesbitt. That is on the outside corner. Strike 2. Sebastian Boucher is waiting on deck. And if one of these guys can get on, then Michael Garcia-Parra would come up. Here's the 3-2. That is swung on and missed. Strike 3. First strikeout for Touchstone. 2 outs. Here's Sebastian Boucher. Sebastian riding a 14-game hit streak, which is on the line in this very at-bat. Obviously, this should be his last chance. Sebastian is 0 for 3. He walked his last time up. So he needs a hit to keep the streak alive. A couple of other guys, it looks like, will have their hit streaks end. Here's the pitch. Fastball is low, 1-0. Garcia-Parra, who is on deck, looks to have his 6-game hit streak get snapped. Bryan LaHair had hit in 6 in a row, and it looks like that is snapped as well. The 1-0 pitch to Boucher is low, 2 balls and no strike. Both the hit streaks underway for the Quakes got continued. Matt Pauley hit it in his 13th straight tonight, and Blake Bockham has now hit in 5 in a row. The 2-0 pitch to Boucher, swung on, tapped down the third baseline. Coming in is Brown, grabs it on the bat. Boucher's got great speed, and he beats it out. And that hit streak will remain alive. So Sebastian Boucher eats 1 out, getting an infield single in the 9th inning. And I wonder what the conversation is going on right now between Matt Brown down at third base and 66ers manager Darren Brown. Maybe they're discussing whether or not they're related. But it was interesting to see the two chatting with each other as Brown walked back to his position. So Boucher is hitting 15 straight. Here's Michael Garcia-Parra with a 6-game hit streak on the line. Michael's had a tough game, walked in the 3rd, but his other at-bats, 2 strikeouts and a double play. Garcia-Parra has been hitting better than 500 for a week now. Pitch to Garcia-Parra, swung on and missed, a fastball. And the count is 0-1. Sixers down to their last out. High Desert was trailing in the 8th inning last we saw, so it looks like the Quakes are going to get to within 1 as they try to take first place back in the Southern Division. The 0-1 pitch to Garcia-Parra misses a little bit outside and low, according to umpire Dixon Sturman. 1 ball and 1 strike. We told you it was a good crowd here in Rancho Cucamonga. 6,411 on hand. Let's see what kind of a crowd we have tomorrow. 5 o'clock start time between the Quakes and the Sixers. 1-1 pitch. Garcia Parra hits a chopper to second. Make that short. Woods got it, and that will do it, ending the ball game. The 66ers, or I should say, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes tie a franchise record with 7 home runs, and the final score is 13-3. We're going to take a timeout. Invite you to stay tuned to the postgame show. That's coming up right after this.
It's your first game. You got your glove?
Yeah.
Good boy. All right, bright blue sky, beautiful green grass. You know, there's nothing better than baseball in summer.
I guess.
Hey, where's that peanut guy?
Dad, we're in the living room.
Hooked on a clear picture? Get hooked on Charter HD TV. With a picture 5 times sharper than regular TV plus theater quality sound, you watch television like never before. Get local channels in high definition with no equipment to buy. Go where satellite can't. Call 1-888-GET-CHARTER and get hooked. Service not available in all areas. Prices may vary.
Tickets at the Epicenter for individual games start as low as $7, and the best seats in the house are only $10. Tickets can be purchased one of 3 easy ways. Over the phone at 909-481-5252, online at rcquakes.com, or in person at the Quakes ticket office. Ticket office hours at the Epicenter are Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. On game days, the ticket office stays open from 10 a.m. until the 7th inning of each game. Get your Quakes tickets today. 13-13 on the bottom of the 9th. Zimmerman to the plate. Pickens swings, hits that one into the glove of Remole at first. He steps on the bag. Double play.
1, 2, 3.
Rosales kicks. Here's the 2-2 on the way. Swinging a ground ball inside the bag at third and down the left field line. A base hit. Kendrick is around third. He's going to score. Brandon Wood heading to second. He's around second. He'll put on the brakes. His 69th RBI of the year.
Welcome to the Yellow Book USA postgame show. Look your information up in Yellow Book, not the other book. This is Quakes Baseball.
Are going off for the fans here at the Epicenter, but the fireworks really started during the game. The Quakes come up with 7 home runs, tying a franchise record, coming just one shy of the all-time league record as the Quakes beat the 66ers 13-3. The winning pitcher is James Holcomb. He threw 5 innings, giving up 3 runs. He now improves to 7-6 on the year. The loss goes to Chad Fillinger. Chad got roughed up for 4 runs in 3 innings and a third, and Fillinger's record will drop to 1-3. The Quakes, besides all the offense, led by 2 home runs off the bat of Ben Johnson. Also got good relief pitching from Justin Dowdy, 3 shutout innings, and Nick Touchstone, who threw 1 inning to finish things up in the 9th. I mean, you look down at the numbers, you see Peel had a couple of RBI doubles. Brandon Wood hit a 2-run homer, his 35th. Dallas McPherson had 3 hits and a homer. Matt Pauley a home run. Matt Brown a home run. Ben Johnston 2 home runs. Blake Bockham a home run. Devin Day had 2 doubles. I mean, that tells you what kind of a game it was. The Quakes setting a season record for home runs in a game and for extra base hits in a game, as they win by the final score of 13-3. We're going to take another timeout, and when we come back, we will check your out-of-town scoreboard. That is coming up right after this.
Hey fans, capture special moments both on and off the field with the new Sprint PCS Vision Phone with a built-in camera. Right now you can save up to $150 instantly on select phone models, plus you'll get 2 months of Sprint PCS Vision service for free. Rancho Cucamonga Quakes fans, bring your ticket stub into any local Sprint store and save an extra $30 when you activate a new line of service.
Limited time offer valid with a new line of service and 2-year agreement subject to credit, activation, termination, other terms, conditions, and restrictions apply. See Sprint store for details.
Sprint PCS is the official wireless partner of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes.
This is Todd Borson, manager of the Quakes for the Ontario Airport Marriott. If you're looking for a great place to eat, the Ontario Airport Marriott features the D Street Sports Bar and Grill, open daily from 11:30 to 1:30, the Pacific Grill for the fine dining, or stop by the 24-hour Pacific Deli. The Ontario Airport Marriott is located at 2200 East Holt Boulevard, right off the 10 freeway. The Ontario Airport Marriott, a proud sponsor of your 2005 Quakes on the radio.
Let's check some of the out-of-town scores. In the California League, the big one, High Desert, got 2 in the ninth, but not enough. The Mavericks lose 6-3. Matt Chico getting the win for the Jethawks. He's now 5-2. Billy Buckner took the loss. And Matt Wilkinson came in for his 4th save. Alex Frazier hit his 15th homer. But with the Quakes win and the Mavericks loss, Rancho pulls to within a game of first place in the Southern Division. Bakersfield beat Visalia 4-2. Smith over Sonnenstein. Cordero got the save. Mahar hit his 16th homer. Stockton in the 8th inning is up on Lake Elsinore 8-3. Morton has hit a home run for the Storm. Allegra and Turner for the Forts. And Modesto beat San Jose 6-3. Kaiser over Cerrado. Santiago a save, and Buescher hit a home run. In the major leagues, Texas beat Baltimore 10-3. Wasden over Cabrera. Lowe got a save. Newhan hit a home run for the Orioles. Zalucci, Teixeira, and Blaylock hit homers for the Rangers. The Blue Jays beat the Yankees 8-5. Walker over Johnson. Sheffield hit a home run for the Yanks. Hillenbrand and Menechino hit home runs for the Blue Jays. Chicago 4, Seattle 2. The White Sox winners as Mark Burley gets his 13th win. Moyer the loss. Hermanson a save. Konerko hit his 26th homer for the White Sox. Cleveland 4, Detroit 2. Westbrook beat Bonderman. Whitman the save. Peralta and Ordonez homered. Oakland pounded on Kansas City 16-1. Blanton beat Lima. Home runs by Swisher and Johnson. 4-3 Minnesota over Boston. Nathan beat Timlin. And it looks like the Angels have lost their game against Tampa Bay. Final score 6-4. Hendrickson got the win. Butchek the loss. Baez got his 23rd save. Molina hit his 5th home run for the Angels. And now the Angels, it looks like, are just a half game ahead of Oakland. I'm not sure if these records are right that ESPN has posted on their site. But either way, Oakland picked up more ground on the Angels. National League, Colorado beat Arizona 14-7. Francis the winner over Gosling. Home runs by Ordoin, Moore, and Gonzalez for the Rockies. Gloss, Torero, and Connor Jackson, a former Jethawk, hit his first 2 home runs for the Diamondbacks. Cincinnati beat Florida 4-3. Hudson over Moeller. Weathers got the save. Pittsburgh 9, Los Angeles 4. Duke over Perez. Sainz and Wilson homers. Philadelphia beat Milwaukee 8-2. Lieber over Capuano. Branyan, Pratt, and Rollins all went deep. The Padres were 3-2 winners over the Nationals. Estacio beat Treat. Hoffman the save. Casilla home run number 7. San Francisco 5. Houston 2. Lowry beat Oswald. Ensberg and Matheny went deep. The Braves beat the Cardinals 8-1. Tim Hudson getting his 100th career win. He's 8-6 this year. Marquis is now 9-10. Andrew Jones hit 2 home runs. He's now got 35. And the Mets shut out the Cubs 2-0. As Sal got the win over Maddox. And Looper got the save. What do we have coming up tomorrow? Well, for starters, Jason will be back with you as the Quakes try to take 2 in a row and win this series from the Inland Empire 66ers. On the mound for the Quakes will be left-hander Micah Posey. No record in his only 1 outing since rejoining the Quakes this year. An ERA of 4.5. He will face the ace of the 66ers staff, Jason McIntosh, who is 7-8 this year with an earned run average of 4.13. So that'll conclude things here from the Epicenter. 6,411 in attendance as the Quakes put up 7 home runs, tying their franchise record. They beat the 66ers 13-3. So this is Jeff Lasky filling in once again, saying so long from the Epicenter. It's been nice to be with you as the Quakes win 13-3.